Oh, dearest Lord. I'm going to slice you into tiny chunks of flesh and feed you to the dogs!
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Project Manga podcast, where we cover One Piece, My Hero, Black Clover, The Promised Neverland, Chainsaw Man, Samurai 8, and Jujutsu Kaisen, week to week. Back this week covering Weekly Shonen Jump, issue number 14. I'm your host, Eagle.
Shaman's Kiko, what's up?
Noxie.
Nickums.
And as always, before we get started, we would just like to say go ahead and visit the link tree in the description box down below, where you can find the links to any and all of our online communities, the links to any audio listening platform you'd like to consume the podcast on, and also links to support the podcast if you would be so inclined. And with all that said, how you guys feeling about this week?
All I gotta say is holy
Amazing.
shit.
Amazing.
All I gotta say is 4-piece and a side of fries.
I think this episode calls for a little Giles theme.
Oh shit. Yeah, dude, straight up though. Action-packed week, like pretty much everywhere except for like the Promised Neverland, basically.
Mhm.
Yeah,
But man, Samurai 8.
Yes.
What the fuck, dude?
definitely some unexpected events there. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Well,
Yeah.
I think we can get right into this then.
Yeah.
Go ahead and get started with chapter 97 of Jujutsu Kaisen, the Shibuya Incident, part 15.
One of these times he's gonna trip you up.
Never.
No.
But man, like I said, man, my son Toji hit Ino with an icy ass 4-piece and
Wow.
a side of fries, bro.
Like a speed bag.
bro.
Big Jing energy, like Jing from
Yeah, bro.
New Stuff Over.
Yes.
So
Yeah,
good.
like I told you, man, I was stuck like Chuck on that panel where it was just hands. I'm like,
Man, bro, I was.
Yeah.
bruh.
And does either Toji or grandson, guy, do they know Ino's technique, or did they just rip the mask off to beat his face in for just, I want to hit the face. I don't want
That
to
is
hit.
exactly what I was wondering.
That's a good
Yeah.
question.
I think they had to have known his technique, especially with that little ellipses we got from them when he activated it, where they're like, oh, look at that. What
Yeah.
are the chances?
And
They
it's a pretty
definitely
easy
probably knew.
condition to figure out too.
Yeah,
He went right
right.
for the mask, yeah.
But is it Toji's spirit giving him extra knowledge
That's
of experience, or is it just anyone would know this? I mean, he's a summoner, and like obviously that mask is something important.
Yeah.
Well, he did it right in front of him, it's
Right.
not.
He
Yeah.
pulled the mask on and then activated his Jutsu Shiki, so
Right.
it's
I
like,
feel like you'd just be running around with the mask on the whole time, right? Like,
No,
Sure.
well, I mean, it could just be something he does when he's fighting just for shits and giggles. You never know.
He needs to jump behind a tree and do that, but you can't do that in front of everybody. Hey, everybody, time out. Let me do my technique real quick, and don't rip my mask off. Like that's one of the rules of our fight here today. Like,
Yeah.
Right.
No.
I did notice he skipped 3, right? He was going to go straight to 4,
yeah.
straight to Ryu. I was like, okay, because I was wondering if like the technique was he had to build. You had to activate,
Oh,
activate, and but he skipped 3 as far as we understand. So
Yeah, and I think we were assuming that Ryu was like his ultimate or whatever since it
Yeah.
was the last
Yep.
one. But
Yeah.
shit, his third one could probably be the best for that situation. I don't know. Well, then he
Right.
would probably try to use it, right? Or
Right,
maybe because
yeah.
he doesn't know how big of a threat it is. So he went for just like what he was feeling at the time. But 3 could be the coldest one. We don't know. But how's he going to use it again if his mask is gone? Unless he got another
Right.
mask in his back pocket.
right.
I mean,
Just
I
in
would.
case.
Like
Yeah,
Zazie
just
in
in
his
case. Yeah.
If I was doing the most obvious technique on the planet, then
Yeah.
I probably would have a backup plan to it, right?
Yeah, I
Like-
feel that. I feel that.
Backup plan: rip your own face off. Like,
And he's got pretty baggy clothes, so
oh sure,
Yeah.
or just put your shirt over your face or something.
yeah.
So
Hell
yeah, like we assume that it's still the grandson controlling the body, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna say for sure on that because
I'm open to whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, me too. Like,
it's just like so weird if he gets like Toji's spirit or personality
Right, possessed,
or
like straight possessed.
Yeah, like that's
Because why would Toji help in this situation?
yeah, like he would have
Yeah.
questions
Yeah.
to ask. He would like
Right.
Yeah.
he'd be like, "How the fuck did I get here?" Maybe type shit. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
he was just like already ready to go. Like
Right.
That'd be weird if that was Toji.
But the question becomes, like, what are you getting? Like, what do you get from this ability if it isn't battle experience? Like, I feel like battle experience, you would have to let him take over a bit. Like, hey, you drive, you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
But if it's not letting him drive, what are you getting exactly? Especially
Just
considering
physical stats.
Yeah.
Right.
Is that it? I don't know.
I would assume so.
Because why would you turn into anybody else other than Toji? You know, like, I mean, well, unless you just get their technique completely, you know, you turn into, you know, Geto and you can just start throwing fucking, you know, cursed dragons all over the place, you know.
But like, where do you get them? Like how, like what stock curses do you get?
Yeah,
you know,
it's so hard.
Geto, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. But I don't know. I feel like it would just be stats because I mean, they know who Toji is. Obviously, they have his body. They have information on him. So I mean, like if this dude, you know, if it's a 1v1 situation, and this dude is like overpowering you in a 1v1 situation, why not use the best 1v1 fighter you know about? You know what I'm saying? Like arguably in the verse, I mean, Toji is probably the best 1v1 sorcerer that we've seen, considering what he did to Geto and Gojo.
It's not Gojo. Yeah,
we
not,
talked about these
point,
people possibly being aligned with like the who was that he was working for in there?
Star Plasma, or maybe it was what was the other group? Because there was two of them, right?
Yeah, but one was just like regular ass people, like fucking, wasn't it? Like,
was it called Time Vessel Association or something?
Yeah.
Was that what it was called? Time. It was something about time.
One of them were just a bunch of regular ass people, though, wasn't it? Like, and one was like people that there may have been. We never got information on if there were actual sorcerers in the group or not, but they definitely hired them and fucking, you know, worked with them and that kind of thing. So
yeah.
But I thought one of those groups were just like
because you want to know what? It is the other association because after the conflict, Gojo brought Amanai's body to the Star Plasma cult. So it would have to be the other organization that hired Toji.
Yeah.
But
or no, wait, it was the people like came in. Who was it and picked up the girl's body?
What do you mean?
Like, remember that shady dude that like came out of nowhere and like grabbed up the chick's body that was the vessel for Master Tengen?
I can't remember that. I remember Gojo bringing Riko's body.
That's what I thought too.
To the Star Plasma cult, and then there was that scene where all of them were around like clapping, and Gojo was like, "Gatsu, should we kill all these people?" Yeah.
And then they vamped out.
Yeah, and then I don't think we saw her body or her after that.
She got shot in like the fucking head.
That was Toji who did that. He hit the vibe check on her during the fucking arc.
Yeah. And then the shady dude like came out of the shadows and like grabbed her body. And who was he with? I think he was with the Time Vessel Association.
I don't remember anybody coming out to grab her body at all.
Gojo definitely had her dead body, carrying her dead body. After the fight.
Gojo had her body and brought it to the start. Yeah, because when she got shot, I don't remember anyone jumping out the bushes and grabbing her shit. It was Geto there. It was Geto there, and he was talking to Amanai, and then Toji shot her, and then they fought, and then there was nobody else in the
It was the dude he was talking to right before Gojo came back.
Yeah, that dude in the suit.
Yeah. No, was he in a suit or was he in like kind of I thought I remember him being in like maybe some kind.
I know who you're talking about. He's the one that said like, I don't want to do any dealings with you, you know, like unless it's like business or in hell or whatever. I don't want to like hang out.
Something like that. Yeah. I thought I remembered him being in some type of gi.
I think he was in a suit, but he didn't come and get Amanai's body though. No. He was just talking. We didn't see him. We saw him before the conflict, and then we saw him after the conflict in that situation before Gojo showed back up, and then they went their separate ways beforehand. But he didn't come and get Amanai's body, no, because after it was all over, Amanai brought her body to the Star Plasma cult. So
the people that wanted Toji to kill the girl, I swear they came and got her body after he killed her. I
don't think so. I do not remember. At least I don't remember it. Somebody in the comments remind us.
I don't see their point in having him kill her then.
So Master Tengen can't fuse with her.
Yeah.
Right, but like, I don't know. I swear somebody's body was taken.
I'm gonna check. I'm gonna go in and check after this, but otherwise somebody in the comments remind us, because now I'm kind of like, am I tripping?
I don't know,
but
how about it's crazy to see that they figured it out. Megumi figured it out. I mean, it definitely shows his tactical side, but that's a hard ability to figure out.
That's pretty tough,
Right.
yeah.
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah.
it's crazy that he just deduced all that basically by the fact that he couldn't fight Gojo. And
Right.
I mean, and the rabbits too. I guess like
He didn't really look like he like the rabbits really even did anything last chapter though.
Well, the
Right.
rabbits were a feeler technique to see,
Yeah.
because he obviously, like, knowing that a very weak technique is going to damage him a lot, is very like cautious of the rabbits. He's like, okay, what the fuck is going on with these rabbits? So
Yeah.
that was
Did he
helping
seem
in
cautious?
deducing
Because
it.
like I didn't really like notice any.
well,
He wasn't like,
Yeah, he
wow,
didn't move.
like he was
He didn't-
before. Like he didn't
Yeah.
move. He was just
Yeah.
standing
But
there.
I feel like you'd be cautious in any situation. Like,
Yeah.
here's a dude who just created a bunch of things. Of course, you dodge them. Like, why wouldn't you
Yeah.
dodge them? Who knows what they do? So
Yeah.
I did not pick up, last chapter or whatever that
At all.
he took damage
No.
or was worried at all.
Yeah,
I didn't pick
me
that up
neither.
at all.
No, not last chapter, but
Well, no, he didn't
That's
take
mentioned
damage.
that's mentioned in this chapter. You know,
No, yeah, that's what I'm saying. But like, why would you assume? Why would Megumi assume that necessarily?
Yeah.
It's an
Yeah.
interesting
because
question.
of it's cumulative, the whole fight where they're throwing strong techniques at him and it's not doing
Right.
shit.
Yeah, I kind of agree though with Nick here on like just
Yeah.
so it makes sense that if you weren't cautious, just say like you were not cautious of techniques, for some reason, and these rabbits spawned in front of you and your power is inverse. Well, a rabbit's not going to hit you very hard, so that's going to fuck you up,
Right.
according to the ability.
Yeah.
So like that makes sense, but
That would make him probably want to completely avoid them and maybe like leave the area of
Exactly.
effect. Right.
and that's why
And he
that's
didn't
why
do that.
And that's why he still stayed cautious and didn't like move. Like they didn't attack him, and maybe he was waiting to counter or get attacked. But that's only assuming that he's not going to be cautious of any technique that pops up in front. That's why I was like, it's hard to deduce that from that. But
Yeah.
I don't know.
And the other half was saying like, well, if you can't handle Gojo's like super 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 high level attack, then there's like a range where you can. A super low attack like air doesn't do anything, and a super super high attack like Gojo that will fuck you up. But in between is a range that's flipped. And it is surprising to me to pick up on all these rules so quickly.
So like what move from like Gojo would be like, because they were talking about an upper limit and a lower limit. Like the upper limit, like what damage is that would break through that Jutsushiki that Gojo has?
Whatever
because
Gojo's
red just
immeasurable
like red.
void no matter what.
Well,
right?
yeah, but I mean like that's not like
it's not like
damage. Yeah, you know what I'm
so
saying?
it's
Like
purple.
isn't red the outward force one?
Yeah,
Blue is crushing this man.
Blue. Yeah, blue. Man, it's hard to remember.
Blue is the one where it crushes shit, and then fucking the purple is the beam, right?
Purple is the one that just deletes shit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so that would be
purple's
the
one where he
upper
swipes
limit
and
where
it's like
there's
fucking
no way you can
Langrus
Yeah.
from Black Clover.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then red is the beam, blue is the condensing, like crushing shit.
It's the
Where he like swiped the area across the wall and it was just like crushing all this shit together,
Man, I should have looked into this before the episode because
it's supposed to be attraction, isn't it?
Yeah, like gravity, like
yeah, it's like a
pulling in,
yeah.
pushing out, and then
pulling
the
in, pushing
combination
out,
of
and then the combination is the unmade.
But he can make it like outward to where like I could toss the shit onto my wall right now and just crush the fuck out of it. Like it doesn't have to be around
I think
him,
that's
like,
purple,
like
or maybe that's red. I think
red is the beam.
Does
Red
it
is
have
what
to
he
be
had
a
told you
beam?
with.
and he
Does it
and
have
shot
to be
him
a
down
beam?
down the street. Yeah,
Yeah, for sure. But does it have to be a beam?
red is the repel, blue is the attraction,
Yeah.
and then
Purple is the deletion. The space is just
a
a
measure.
yeah,
Erased.
purple is the unmake. Yeah,
Right.
so red is the
yeah.
Like, I mean, I feel like even blue is like gonna give this. That's some strong force. Bro.
But yeah, but
Right.
like he drops the Bancho on him, the elephant.
Mhm.
Super
Max
sick.
elephant. Like
That was
it-
so cool.
That's a weird
it was-
translation from Viz, but like
that's what I thought. Okay,
yeah,
I'm glad
like-
that we're on the same page.
I remember it is
It's Bancho.
from the Goodwill event when he was fighting Kamo. Yeah, the Kamo guy. Yeah, but
Funk Freak.
Funk Freed.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like, man, it's like if you drop an elephant on a dude from
Yeah.
X amount
Yeah,
of
super cool.
like, yeah, like that's super cool, but like, holy shit, how is that not stressing that
Or-
upper limit.
Or have the car thrown at you.
Oh my
which-
God, Yuji threw a Buick at this
son
man.
Yuji shot put.
Oh
a
my God,
sedan,
bro. I was like,
what
bro.
the fuck? I'm like, holy
That was
shit.
a full size sedan.
That was so
they
tight.
had that, man. Hey, so I'm so glad we have that because we finally got like a full taijutsu feat to scale, right? Like now we have something we could say. Yuji picked up a fucking 3,000-pound car and threw that.
Yeah,
Yes.
usually
Threw that
I was
bitch
gonna
at
say the
somebody.
average
Yeah.
mid-size weight is 33.50.
But like you can
Yeah.
almost like calc like a lot of like Yuji's feats like based on speed, right? Because like
Sure.
he has some pretty crazy speed feats too. Like
Yeah.
I remember in like the origin of like obedience arc when he's like, or maybe I don't remember if it was that arc, but he's like carrying somebody. I think it was Nobara, outrunning, a curse technique.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? That was like.
Oh, in the car? Weren't they chasing him in the car and he was running too?
I don't remember what it was, but it had like a huge area of effect and it was like outwardly like shooting out at the speed of energy. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know like what the that speed like really is, but like that's a pretty crazy feat too. So it's like if you like equate all of his like physical stats like and scale upwards towards that speed feat, then like his physical stat has to at least be able to pick up a car and fucking throw it. If you're fucking sprinting with a full grown person in your arms like faster than an AoE can envelop you, that's a pretty big deal. But yeah.
Well, and that's crazy that. So not only the car doesn't exceed the limit, the elephant doesn't exceed the limit. Yuji just stealing on him with fucking Juryoku, it doesn't exceed the limit. Because it's like, if I throw a car, how hard am I punching you with, like Black Flash? Like
he didn't use Black Flash this whole time. That's so crazy. I thought we were for sure gonna see that.
Yeah, and maybe he's saving it to like after you like fuck up the inverse so many times that it'll like fall off, and then he'll get hit with the Black Flash. That's what I figured. They just got it. Well, because that's what's so tight about it is they're doing a 3-way attack with the fucking toad, and the toad's tongue is hitting the dude, and it's like that's the weak ass attack that doesn't do shit, but it's top of obviously. And so you got to assume that Megumi still hits pretty hard. He obviously doesn't hit as hard as Yuji.
Right.
But when they're both hitting at the same time. Yeah. No, and they're both hitting at the same time. And then the little fucking toad jabs him in the side.
Right.
I was laughing. I was dying. I was like, for real?
I was like, oh shit, fuck yeah. And then Yuji, okay. So like Yuji like throws his last punch and like stops it right before and then adjusts the damage. So what did he hit him like tap?
Yeah,
just fucking floored him. God, what a fight, dude! That's amazing.
Yeah,
that's amazing.
So I definitely feel like Megumi using all his techniques definitely is like testing the waters. You know what I mean? Like I think that there's a little flashback where he's like, "Hey Yuji, this is inverse. Like I have a pretty good idea of what this is." I mean, he kind of was super confident of what it was.
Yeah.
But I think it's very possible that he was just kind of testing the waters. Send out some bunnies, send out the elephant, try a car.
Exactly.
Okay. Yeah. And he knows that like he can't take Gojo, so like there's you don't have to go that high, but there's a pretty high limit. So I mean, if that frog had used his tongue and it didn't do anything, I think he would have been like, maybe I'm wrong here.
Right? Yeah, exactly.
It was just a good guess, I think.
Plus,
and it was definitely a guess because he said his curse technique is probably inverse. He didn't say like it's definitely 100%.
Right.
Nailed it down.
Plus, we don't have like the experience of like sorcerers in combat like in this series. Like it's still like before 100 episodes, right? So like when he sends the bunnies out. Just because we didn't notice, anything that confirmed a theory that Megumi had, like, in the panel of the dude, like, getting hit by the bunny, doesn't mean Megumi didn't notice anything to confirm his theory, too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, that's just, obviously, like, me just saying, like, trust the lore, basically, but... Like,
Yeah,
but I mean, like, that could be a reason why, it wasn't, like, obvious to us, but, made Megumi confident. You know what I mean? So... But
I love this ability too. Inverse, so sick. It's
that
kind
is
of like,
such a cool move.
Inverse
so
is
cool.
crazy.
So cool.
Yeah,
and
that's
you get
like
to turn
almost,
it on and off, right?
Yeah,
almost like Boogie Woogie level.
That's pretty fucking sick. I mean, Boogie Woogie is OP as fuck.
Boogie
Woogie is this story's bungee gum to me. You know what I mean?
But this is like the flip of Boogie Woogie. I feel like it's like I can turn on my defense, I can turn off my defense, kind of thing. It's like offense or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, and this makes it. This dude is almost impossible to 1v1 unless you are above that scale, right? Like Gojo is technically the only person could 1v1 this guy. I mean, maybe not. You could probably figure it out. You just got to
trick him.
Yeah, if you figure it out, you just got to use feints and just outsmart him. Like,
yeah. But a lot of people, like, you know, you have deductive people who are going to be like, okay, I'm hitting this dude pretty hard, and nothing's happening. What's going on?
Right.
But then you got people like meatheads that are just going to, like he said, overcommit, keep trying to go harder, and eventually put in everything they got, and you overcommit.
And then fail.
You can't dodge. You can't dodge when you like really commit. So that's when he gets your ass.
The dual attack is just a good idea, like a super good idea against inverse. Like that's like rock paper
trio
scissors kind of thing.
He should have known that. He should have known that was his weakness, though.
Him,
he was a little bit too confident for like knowing.
But they're greenhorns in his eyes. He never thought they were going to figure it out.
Right.
I'm so mad he wasn't wearing a curtain. I mean, this is tight. Like I was so sure about that, dude. God damn it! Like, why does he have the knife?
Yeah, like why did he take those nails?
Yeah.
Like we still don't know that. That's still totally up in the air right now.
Because you have to break them.
Yeah,
you have to break them to get the barrier down, right?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. So then, what are those nails doing then?
Yeah, but it can't just be protecting them, right? Like they also have to be in a pretty obvious spot, like they were saying, right? Or is it only when like you first cast it? It has to be at the top of that building, super obvious spot outside the curtain. That's why it's so strong.
Yeah.
But like. I feel like they do have to be like. Why are they nails if they don't have to be hit in the ground? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They have to be hit somewhere. I feel like.
Yeah, and then probably like remain in that area so that you can keep the effect.
And stay there.
Yeah.
But then the curtain would be down, right?
Well,
that's why he left one.
If anything, maybe it just got weaker.
It's probably because
he left one because that's the curtain.
Yeah, and it's probably because like you only have like he only has a finite number of nails, and he's probably thinking about what he's going to do after the conflict. Like I'm gonna need to use these nails later. So,
but they were hammered in.
They were hammered in, weren't they?
Yeah. And he took them out. So I don't know.
So then he wants to use them again later. Then
and they kept like the Juryoku energy around him too while he had them in his hand. That was the other thing. Yeah. That's why I was kind of
what the fuck.
I was pretty on board with the curtain theory, you know, because of that.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know, dude. That's weird.
Yeah.
This fight is not over though. You know that because
he's got the ... the Ulysses.
Yeah.
I don't know why they're gonna like. Well, it doesn't look like they're walking away yet, but they definitely shouldn't just leave him there.
Right. No, like we could probably assume
double tap.
We could probably assume that the fight is over, but like I'm thinking like, okay, so like what do we want? Like what's gonna happen next chapter? They're gonna go check on Ino, right? And
they gotta interrogate his ass.
They're about to find Ino splattered on the top of that building.
God damn it, bro.
Yo, Ino's he's done for. He can't.
No, he's got something else, bro. And like,
hey, now Bito's coming in. I don't know why. I just feel it. It's like, hey, Zenin fucking situation. Get him in here.
I feel that, but like then like what about Maki and Nobara? They're all gonna pull up to them.
Coming in.
Yeah, maybe Maki. I don't know. I mean,
Maki's coming in.
So, but Maki doesn't have
no Juryoku versus no Juryoku.
They don't have like I mean like
you don't know what kind of smoke Maki wants.
They don't have like a specific target that they're like already like have been implied to be squaring up with yet. So I mean like they could pull up, but like
I know.
That's just. I don't know. I can't picture it.
Panda pull up. What?
If somebody doesn't pull up, he's done for, right? What is he going to do? If somebody doesn't pull up,
right?
He's done for. Ino's done for, but like he can't.
Oh yeah, no.
So the only thing that could be the only thing I could see that would fix this would be fucking Yuji can now fight Netero 1v1 because he knows the abilities. Like, okay, here's how this works. You're good. Black flash him. You'll get him when you got him. And then Megumi flies up on Nue to fight his dad. You know,
and honestly, dude, like Black Flash is almost like a hard counter to this dude's technique, right? To Netero's technique, right? Because like it's all about like initial impact and then additional impact after that.
Right. So but if you can just keep it up, you can just keep up the inverse until the second one. He might instinctually take it down after the first impact to save energy and then get slammed by the second impact. I don't think you have to do that. Now he knows that
they know the move. Yeah.
Okay. So I don't think he has to take it down immediately after the first impact.
Yeah. But I feel like
after the Boogie Woogie stuff, Yuji's definitely used to this kind of mind games kind of stuff with the attack. So I think he definitely has the ability to 1v1 him now.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean like they're definitely going back up to Ino. I mean, even if they leave Yuji on the ground and Megumi goes, or vice or whatever, or Yuji goes and then
I don't know if
Their
Megumi
objective is
wants
the
to smoke
curtain.
with
That's the objective
Toji
is the
any more
curtain.
than Maki does, bro. I don't know if anybody wants to smoke.
Yeah, but like Megumi's fighting style, I feel like is more suited for Toji, right? Because like he likes to like send Shikigami out and like play the field. So like he could get like a good grasp on like Toji's stats before directly,
But
confronting
again,
But
him
he
in a
gets
serious
all his
situation.
curses just killed.
Is he
shit.
actually fighting Toji though? Again, like, is this grandson with a Toji buff on? You know, or
it's
is
what it
this
is.
actually? But so is he? Even if okay, so if the grandson has a Toji buff, that means he's nowhere near as strong as actual Toji.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So we can't assume that he's just about to just wreck everything because he's Toji. Then
True.
Right.
it depends. It's like if Toji, I don't know, like they make some kind of agreement in their mind or whatever, like, okay, you have to fight this fight for me and you just do it and whatever. I don't know. Maybe
I
there's
see
some
what
kind
you're
of
saying.
trade-off.
Yeah.
Maybe there's some kind of trade-off where the grandson, like his mind, plays the back well. Toji comes out and
Yeah.
then
I don't know if
everybody's in trouble.
Yeah.
But
Ooh.
if that's not the case and it's just a Toji fucking physical buff on him, then
Yeah.
there's
this dude
trouble, but
saw-
not as much.
Plus this dude
I
saw
don't see why
Ino's
he
ability.
wouldn't-
Oh, sorry, go ahead, Eagle.
Well, no, I just don't see why he wouldn't be as good as Toji.
Because he doesn't have the, like, if it's not his like if it's not
All he wouldn't have really is like whatever actual techniques he used as far as,
and
martial art.
experience.
Right. Battle
He
knowledge.
he
You would
wouldn't-
think he would get all that.
He would get his thought process on combat.
No, but
Yeah.
he's got his own thought process on combat.
Yeah, but
So
a lot
it's
of
not
what
as
makes
good.
but a lot of
And
what
a
makes
sorcerer as
Toji
well.
but a lot of what makes Toji crazy is because he has that like number one assassin experience and,
Yeah.
and-
Well, I
and-
think it was just because his body is so refined that he has like the ability to just
yeah.
overwhelm anybody with physical fucking dominance.
Yeah, so like that's the physical stat, but like his personality
and his mind played
and
a
his
part to get
mind
to that
is-
stage.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's like
The
it's all
grandson will need to utilize it somehow. He'll need
Yeah.
to use his own techniques or his own strategies, and maybe he won't be very good using Toji's body, even if he had it. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So yeah. I don't think we know necessarily what he's got right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah. And a lot of what is making this like Toji grandson combo really effective against Ino is because Ino already showed his Jutsu Shiki and used it against him before he transformed. If Megumi pulls up right now, this Toji doesn't know what he's gonna do or what his Jutsu Shiki is. So I feel like it would be easier for Megumi to use his strategy and play it out, knowing that this Toji dude is an oppressive physical force in a fight, and it might be, a little bit better of a fight, or at least not an instant wash like Ino is getting right now. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
Did Toji know anything about Megumi at all?
I mean, he was. I don't think so. I mean, I don't think his jutsu.
He
I don't think
didn't
his-
raise him, right? He didn't.
Yeah,
Like,
No,
I
he
don't-
didn't raise
yeah.
him.
I think
lives
he
or
bounced
anything.
like right away after he was born. Is what
Right.
they said.
Well,
Right.
he sold him. Didn't they
Sold
say he
him.
sold him to the Zenin clan?
No,
basically?
no. When
Like,
he was losing to
that's what it
Gojo,
was making it sound like. Like I sold. Like it's kind. I thought it's what he kind of made it sound like.
when he was losing to Gojo, I think he said something about how now the Zenin clan is gonna like take him once I'm out of here, or something like that. Once I'm out of here.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Yeah.
but
Regardless.
how did Megumi like get involved with the
Gojo's
Zenin
custody?
clan after Gojo took him in? I don't know. But
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't
What
know.
a-
Fucking yeah.
A lot of speculation,
Mhm.
but
Yeah.
Yeah.
for sure.
I think we can go.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
ready. I'm ready.
Yeah, this is about it.
Yeah.
So, with that, we can move on to chapter 40 of Samurai 8, Loss of Support.
Dude, what the fuck?
On this
Man, Alpha
cover,
really just dropped the fucking hammer on
This
me,
cover
boys.
was amazing though, with the fucking.
did you
with
did you
the-
hear the fucking Hueco Mundo like fucking Hispanic music?
Oh my God, no, but that's so good though.
Open
Yeah.
up just like that shit. I was like,
It was
damn.
so cool to see like that the cover was in like Daruma Vision, right?
Mhm.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
That's fucking sick. But what the
This-
fuck, dude?
This is my favorite chapter of Samurai 8.
Yeah,
Number
Oh,
one
yeah.
best chapter. Number
Yeah.
one best chapter. I love this chapter.
yeah, for sure, dude.
Chapter
This shit was
was so
fucking crazy. So, someone else start.
Ata slicing up Hachimaru. That's
well,
pretty
before
early
that,
on in the chapter.
actually, because I forgot where I wanted to start, but before that,
Sure,
I'm glad
yeah.
that you said that. Before that, so like Ata teleported Hanaichi and Daruma to a different area in space.
Yeah.
Oh, that was the world of death, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The world of death technique was I'm gonna bit by bit take
Yeah.
you and move you to some other
Okay.
place, I guess, right? Is that what
Okay.
it is? That
So like, oh yeah, because of the H particles. So it's like a molecular deconstruction and repositioning somewhere else.
it was his technique from the end of last chapter. Like
Yeah.
he dropped it at the end of last chapter. I think is what happened, right?
I don't remember like seeing any kind of like representation of. I just remember the words "world of death," but I don't remember seeing any.
Right. He
kind
said
of,
like I'm the only person who knows both schools, and he's like world of death. That was last chapter, and then the very beginning of this chapter is Daruma and Hanaichi being like broken up into cubes.
Oh, I thought
Must
that
be
was
that-
just Daruma vision.
No.
Oh,
I think that was the technique.
Oh my god.
Yeah. That's the
Okay,
technique
okay,
of
hold
it.
on. Let me relook at this.
That's them getting like transported away, sucked
Yeah,
away.
okay.
So, this
Right.
feels a lot. So Ata's abilities right here feel a lot.
Oh
like
yeah, okay, I see it
Obito.
now. How did I fucking miss that? Okay, yeah. Yeah.
Feel a lot like Obito, where you're transporting people to other, and like sucking them into like a black hole
Oh,
type thing,
yeah.
like disappearing, and then okay, you're on another plane, like Kakashi versus Obito, when they fought in that other
Yeah.
plane, whatever
Right.
the fuck that was, and just like the regular, is it Kamui, where he just and then
Kamui's the lightning
Kamui.
blade.
No, Kamui is the one, yeah.
Is
yeah,
it?
where he sucks you into the black hole and just teleports your ass.
Isn't that
elsewhere.
Six Paths?
Chidori is lightning blade.
Yeah,
Kamui.
IQ.
Oh yeah, no. Kamui is the dimensional.
Kamui is
Yeah,
the technique that Obito and Kakashi
Yeah.
used.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
but we're just getting it early. We're getting it early in this Naruto story.
That's just so crazy that he bounced him out of there. Okay, and then like, so this situation is so crazy because,
And how far? Like, when, are they ever going to get back to this?
bruh,
Is it far or is it a different plate, like dimension?
yeah, like
You know what I
above,
mean?
like yeah, they're still there,
Yeah.
but just like up here.
Well,
And
Yeah, yeah.
Dharma
Yeah.
said that it was just a different region of space. So
Oh,
Okay,
really?
yeah, he did.
Okay.
Actually, he did say
Yeah.
that. But that's so
Yeah.
crazy. Okay, so Daruma and Hanaichi are gone. Then he uses the fucking cat beckoning and pulls
Yeah.
Hachimaru and Ann to them. Then I'm like, what the fuck? Okay. Then he shoots an angular warhead at fucking Sen and Goku. And they're like,
Right.
teleport us out of here. So now they're
Yeah.
gone.
Right.
Then he slices fucking Hachimaru up and with the Soruken and was like, you can't
Ribbons,
regenerate.
bro.
You can't regenerate.
Amazing panel. That
What
panel
the
is
fuck?
so cool. Oh my god.
And he gets an eye scar like Dharma.
Yes.
I don't know if he's gonna keep that, but man, it'd be tight if he did. I almost want him to. You know?
Yeah.
yeah.
That's what he says, right? Like,
I know
so
that's what he
like,
says. Yeah,
you're fucked now.
he's definitely getting healed from this. Like he isn't gonna be stuck to this machine forever. But like,
Like, what a
Right.
situation though. It's like, dude,
I know
I've never seen like these stakes are crazy right now.
Yeah.
it's
These
wild.
are real stakes.
Like these are
super high
bigger
suspense.
stakes than I expected that I would ever see in this story because it wasn't this dark or anything that
Yeah.
well, I mean like they blew up a planet and everyone died on it, but like
Right. I
fam.
love yeah.
Yeah.
I love Ata's dialogue when he's
Yes.
like talking to Hachimaru. Like I'm just like this. I didn't really like Ata as a character all that much before. He was kind of okay, cool,
Yeah.
whatever. I'm like, wow, this guy's like
Yes.
he's not a bad character, or whatever. I
Yeah.
like him.
And I think like a lot of what enhances like Ata as a villain's like status to me is like knowing that he's working for Akala, whose motivations are pretty fucking crazy, right? So like you have so like he, Akala wants to destroy everything and then rewrite it in his own image. And then you have his like vassal, who has all of this dialogue, to Hachimaru in this villainous light that is basically regurgitating this dude's will, basically. And it's like you have a zealot that like, is this about your motivations? Like, and it's like
That's what's so crazy to me though. Like Atta is such an imposing figure, right?
Yeah.
Like he's so he's everything as far as in what we fear in this series, right? So
Yeah.
it's so hard for me to believe that he's just like following. He's
Right.
gotta jump out the cut and hit Kala eventually, because like I just don't feel like he's the type to be a subordinate, at least not forever, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But I mean, like, you have like respect of like, you have respect of the people above you, that's like kind of like being like hammered into us too, like inside of like this samurai, you know, like story, right? Like that's like a common thing, you know what I'm saying? Like no matter how tight you are, you still have like, you know, a certain amount of honor and a certain amount of like loyalty to those you have sworn yourself to, right? So like even if like it's weird that Ata, you know, is this tight and is a subordinate, like if his will aligns with Akala's and Akala is like one step down from Fudomio O arguably, then it makes a little bit more sense there. But
so here's a question I have. So he goes into this kind of tale of a samurai woman. Okay, now we have official confirmation that there can be women samurai. Great, awesome, love it.
I mean, we knew that in chapter 1 though.
Yeah. I always get like super extra confirmation.
Verbal.
And he says, you know, her goal was to protect this brother who is incompetent, and the brother, you know, cursed his undying samurai body. Is he talking about Daruma?
No, he's
talking about himself.
No, he's talking about Nanashi.
And Nanashi?
No. The one that's at the end at the end of the chapter, who's riding it on the Chimera holder.
Is that who he's talking about?
Is that who's talking about?
I'm pretty sure.
Wait, why? How do we know that?
He wasn't a samurai. He was like a sickly little boy.
Yeah.
How does he just have I mean, I don't know. I guess he's got a locker ball with a Chimera holder rolling. It feels like...
That's what I was saying in the chat earlier. I was like, we need some good explanation on this shit because it feels like this is really a big fucking ass pull.
Well,
like,
why couldn't he get a lock? Why couldn't he find
I want to know. I want there to be a good explanation why he was literally just sitting there as a sickly little boy playing a video game
because
with no opportunity,
the shit out of him.
Living in a destitute area with a bunch of other poor ass people that have no fucking names. Why is he the one they pick?
Well, there's a lot of time that's passed in between that.
Nanashi is everyone's name. 7. He ain't the only 7.
Right.
So like why it just seems like so
Nanashi just meant nameless.
And how is he so cold he thinks he can square up to this big ass dude riding on a dragon?
And a lot of people like think that, so like remember Nick when you were talking about how like Zipman like kind of like jumped into like a bunch of action because it's on its way out. A lot of people think that that's what's happening here.
I mean,
because like you have Nanashi pulling up, and he's like, it's like all of these like old like plot threads that like they're trying to tie off before the end of the series. So like,
I guess
that would be fucked up, bro.
It would be really fucked up. I'm here like I'm almost like, is there gonna be a time skip right now?
Oh shit!
You know, like have Hachimaru, no arms, no legs. You're just a tool for us to test swords on, and you're gonna be we're gonna use your key. We're gonna use Anne. We're gonna use your boy. You know, Yataro or whatever, like Hayataro, like time skip, a year, 2 years, you know, at least 6 months. I could see a time skip. Get him really get some psychological damage in here. You know what I mean?
Man, bro.
And when Ata's like, as long as you have hope, you can never die. It's like, I'm like, oh my god, this whole chapter.
Yeah, and of course amazing. He's like, I'll never give up hope. Because like he can't.
Great.
So
like,
yes,
perfect.
Oh
I'm all
God,
for it. Thank
bro.
you. That's what I want. Thank you.
That's so crazy.
Yeah.
I will say I did not even consider Nanashi being the character in that story, the brother who's like incompetent or whatever.
That's what it sounded like.
Yeah, Anne's Nanashi, right?
No. Mike's saying the Nanashi coming at the end of the chapter. The Nanashi Hachimaru met. That was the number 2 in the video game.
Yeah, but like,
him.
what about his?
I was thinking it was like an older callback to like something Dharma age.
I felt like.
What about that character's shit? Like, makes us think that that's who he was talking about.
Because
nothing for me.
I don't remember. Yeah, I don't remember any of Ata's dialogue in this chapter linking back to Nanashi.
With Daruma, we've always had these flashbacks of Daruma, and there's this woman, you know, that he knows from his past or whatever, right? Like I don't know if it's his sensei or maybe it's his sister that and she's a samurai and she was trying to protect him. Like the story could have been about Daruma, or the story could be about Ata, and he actually like.
Oh, and he's talking about himself.
And he feels really bad, and that's why he wants to rewrite the entire universe with Akala's help to just get that out of the universe, make it never happen. He's so ashamed of himself. So I'm like, I have no idea what he's talking about.
That would be
heavy.
Right,
seriously.
Yeah, I just thought Nanashi had a sister too. Like I thought it was that him being like the second best player in the game, and like I didn't really remember him. I felt like he might have had like he was hooked up to machines and shit too, but maybe not. Maybe I was.
You could be totally right. That's been a long time for me. Yeah.
I don't remember him being hooked up to machines. I just remember him being like a recluse. You know what I'm saying? Because he was so different from everybody, and his only friends were his hands and shit. But we were talking about last chapter. I was talking about last chapter how like once this dude is a real ass samurai, his hands are gonna be independent with their own samurai. We're about to see that shit next fucking chapter, bro, and see how accurate I was.
That's okay. That makes a lot of sense though, because that's why there's confusion. Because that's the only reason why that story made sense to me. That this dude's coming in here out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Like, that's the only reason why I linked the story. Because you're like, why?
But
I figured that was just something we were going to get exposition for next chapter, and there was nothing in this chapter that explained Nanashi's pulling up.
It just seems very unlikely that that's who would be pulling up.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's why I'm like, why would it be about Nanashi? Like Atta randomly talking about Nanashi and then Nanashi pulling up. That's not a link. That's just a coincidence.
Yeah. Straight up though.
The fact that he's pulling up at all, like Eagle is saying, like
weird.
It makes no sense. Yeah, like I don't know. Like it's hard to see, but
I totally agree with you, Eagle. I do want to. I want an explanation of how this is coming to be.
Absolutely. Everybody who read the chapter wants an explanation for that.
That's the weird part for me, for sure.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
I think that's about it though for Samurai 8 for me.
That's all I had. Yeah, great chapter.
Yeah. Wow.
And with that, we can go ahead and move on to Chainsaw Man chapter 60, Quan-Ji and the Fiend's 49-person massacre.
This shit was crazy as fuck too, dude.
This shit was crazy. And this was a tight ass chapter for me because like, I don't know why, but like, and I feel like it doesn't happen often, but I feel like any scene that's depicted like this where somebody is dashing through doing some shit and then like, you know, it's usually slicing, right?
Yeah.
Right. Somebody's dashing through and people don't realize they've been sliced until
their
like,
shit's already separated.
Right.
And like, I can't think of any other ones right now, but one that comes to mind was like a really riveting, scary scene in the movie.
Ghost Ship.
Ghost, yes, bro. And the wire comes across the fucking ballroom just fucking eat.
Yeah.
And the little girl is looking up at the dude and his fucking shit slides. Bro.
Yes. Instantly knew what you were talking about,
bro. Holy shit.
That shit was fucking hectic, bro. I remember that shit. I'll never forget that shit. What a movie.
Yes.
What an opening scene. Hell yeah.
That shit was nutty.
Yeah. But yeah, dude, this shit was crazy.
This chapter was went as fast as fucking, you know,
it lit it, yeah.
You know, like that's
right,
how fast the chapter's over. But it's tight. You know, this obviously is the coolest you could do this, really. Like this is so tight. And I'm not even mad that it's 5 pages or whatever, you know, like
it's cool.
That panel of her like hitting the on the fucking building behind the dudes, that shit was fucking sick. I don't think we've seen a character like Retse was pretty OP, but like this is on a different level than that.
Yeah, definitely.
This is wild as fuck.
Well, and I said nobody in the world wants smoke with this bitch.
Now we see shit.
Yeah.
Well, and this is a good battle for Aki and Angemon to fight because Aki can see the future on it and help them block it, you know. And I mean, even if he sees the future, like,
what can you do?
Yeah,
that's
like,
too much speed.
So can I get confirmation here? He did use his future sight, and that's why he lived, right?
He had
to. For sure.
Because it was either that for me, or it was like kind of a you know, putting the blade back, and only when the blade back is when the cut happens, because it seemed delayed in a sense, you know. But I think the delay makes sense if Aki is using future sight, because he sees Quan-Chi run by and he's like, oh shit, like we gotta block this, and he sees it happen ahead of time. So I feel like he definitely used his future sight, and that's why those two lived or whatever.
Absolutely. For sure.
Fam, though, tell me when the halo came off the front of the head, though, and he said,
over the sword?
Bro, like the halo came off the front of his head and like dropped down into the blade. And I was wondering, is this like a situation where it's like, is he using his own lifespan, 5 years of it, or is it like an AoE sapping type of thing where he's like 5 years usage and it takes a year from everybody around him, or is he literally just get to stockpile up all the life he ever takes and he can use it at will like this?
I think it's that last one.
I think it's
okay.
that
Then that confirms my theory that he's going to give Aki life then, because he can transfer it.
Yeah,
it's.
I can see that.
Yeah.
He has to die doing it though. Like he can't just like, hey, I got 10,000 years built up.
It's got to be some like opie immortal surgery shit.
Sure.
You can't just have 50 years that I got stockpiled out of my 10,000. You know, like
why
that
not?
just because that's too
Too
easy.
easy.
Too easy. Yeah.
Especially for a story that like can like I don't know, just this one just has a little bit of a darker tone, you know.
Yeah, pretty brutal. So like I feel like
Not
you can't
as
be so
campy.
nice to make that easy ability.
Yeah, they can still die. Like Aki can still die.
Not like, wow,
death
Julius died, but oh, there's a magic ball in the woods and he's reborn. Like, Jesus,
How
Christ.
convenient.
Hey, bro. But still, no, like Aki can still die his gruesome death or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but like that doesn't mean that like it could just be like later on past the time that he was originally supposed to die. You know what I mean? So
and I feel like just because you see the future doesn't mean you can avoid it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you could say like, oh yeah, there's a nuke falling and it's gonna hit in 5 seconds. I mean, there's not much you can do about that.
Yeah.
Anyway, so having more lifespan doesn't even necessarily mean he has more lifespan. If that makes sense, you know what I mean?
Yeah. For sure.
Definitely.
I do wonder with this the weapon M.A.N.G.A created or whatever is so I totally think use lifespan to create the weapon, but is the weapon also magical or was it just a sword? Like did he just like, shoot, you're all dead, or was there also the sword itself? The other person kind of seemed like, oh, that's that life draining technique.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Sword. So it seems like the sword is also magical in its own
maybe
way.
the condition on the sword is that he has to load it with life before he can use it.
Right.
It is. I mean, I don't. Yeah, that makes sense that he has to load it with life before he can use it.
Maybe the sword,
it just costs 5. I mean, just costs 5 years to like a duration. However many years of the life is how long that sword's gonna last.
Maybe it just needs like maybe that was just how much life he figured needed it for like that situation of how many people he was trying to affect. And maybe he just loaded it with what he thought was necessary for that moment.
Mm-hmm.
He says, "I'm sorry, everyone. I need to use you," and then he cuts the fucking.
Oh yeah, he did say that, didn't he?
But
so
he said
I
that
wonder
before
if it
he
is a
summoned the sword.
sapping technique.
No, he said that before
he
he
says
summoned.
usage 5 years. Then the sword comes down. He says, "I'm sorry, everyone. I need to use you."
Or maybe he's talking about the people that he originally sapped.
The
like,
doll.
Yeah,
I think
originally
so,
sapped
yeah.
and they live in some other reality kind of thing.
So it feels to me like a Toji Zenin kind of thing. Like he's got like all these different tools or weapons or whatever that he can summon out of this Halo, and that he got to pay for time to do, or it's either that. But it just the way that somebody knows the technique, that's the life stealing sword or whatever, that seems like he has artifacts, whatever weapon, whatever they're going to be, and they don't all have to be. They don't all have to be weapons, They could be all sorts of crazy different things that could come out of there. But
now that I'm looking at it again, it is 5 dummies that he killed at one time. So the 5 years might be 1 year for each of them
per target.
Yeah, per target kind of thing.
So
that
he might be talking to them then.
No, I think he maybe. I still think he's using saved up life that he's already previously stolen. But he said like I'm gonna use 5. Yeah, and like he said like maybe paid it back.
Well, that's how he just
paid
it back.
Like,
he just took
I'm only withdrawing 5 because I only need 5.
Yeah, because 1 per target. Okay.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Buddy got the Horn of Sanunos.
Huh? Sir Nunos?
Buddy got the Horn of Sanunos, man. He's got some artifacts.
Oh shit.
Got a broadsword, a battle axe. He got all kinds of shit in the Halo.
Yeah, dude.
It's
just a grab bag of weaponry.
Hell yeah. But man, what a chapter that's gonna be next chapter. Like, okay, so Denji's there. Aki's there and Angemon is there. So this is gonna be like a 3v1 situation. Like, is Denji even gonna do anything like while Aki and Angemon like do their thing? Like, you would think that he would just activate like right away next chapter because there's a threat here.
Well, Santa's there too.
Yeah, maybe the rest of his
him.
security detail will get him out of there, and then Aki and Angemon will square up with Quan Chi.
Power's also there.
Yeah, Power too. Yeah, and who else? Kobeni. Like, there's a bunch of people there, isn't there?
Yeah, I think it's everybody. Yeah.
So I mean, it's a lot of them just got. So, a lot of them just got erased.
Yeah.
49 of them motherfuckers, man.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's wild.
And that sword shattering at the end after all the high impact.
Yeah.
Super Saiyan speed,
Yeah.
sword shattering. I'm like, oh dang, that's so cool.
Yeah.
I was thinking just how fucked up it is, the doll aspect. Like,
Oh yeah.
that's one thing we haven't talked about. Like, just how fucked up that is to just literally just you're taking someone's life and just like
Yeah.
it's like you're a doll now.
As soon as you get touched, you
I
stop
control
being
you.
human.
You're
That's
no longer
fucked.
human.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Your life is over.
Yeah.
Oof.
You're just walking to work thinking it's another day. All of a sudden,
Hopefully your life is over and you're not
Yeah.
like in that doll seeing what your doll is
man.
Yeah,
doing. Like,
right.
Hopefully,
Right.
hopefully your life is
you
over.
see
Right.
everything your doll is doing. That's crazy.
Yeah. Fuck that.
That's all I had for Chainsaw Man, though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
me too.
Yeah.
So with that, we can move on to chapter 169 of The Promised Neverland. Perfect scores.
The only chapter that wasn't like really action packed.
Yeah, I love the callback in this chapter to, the best dad, Lucas. I love that.
Mhm.
Just that. I didn't even think of it, that like when they were saying like you're not our dad type shit. I was like,
Yeah.
I didn't even think of Lucas.
You're
And I'm
not
like,
my
oh, shit,
dad.
This dude really did like raise them up,
Yeah.
Mhm.
in it, in like pretty much a war zone, but like he
Yeah.
taught him how to survive and shit and cared for him and
Right.
really was like a father figure to him. That shit was nice.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah. Good
Yeah.
throwback for sure.
Definitely.
Of course, Vincent alive.
Yeah, I knew he got shot in the shoulder.
Yeah.
Well, at least one person here was like, "Oh, they're dead." Probably you, Noxie.
Whoops.
Probably
I
you,
said- yeah,
Noxie.
no,
No, I didn't say he was
All right.
not. No,
All right.
hell.
I thought he
no.
got shot in his
All right.
dome, and I thought
Eagle
I knew
did.
one of you did.
Yeah.
Eagle
I was
did,
like,
yeah.
no, hell no, this man ain't dead.
Yeah,
And
no,
I knew it was
I thought he hit
because-
him with the Krispy Kreme.
No, I knew that I knew he shot him in a place that wasn't like fatal because
Right,
he still
right.
wants information from him. Like you can
Right,
keep somebody
right.
alive and torture the information out of anybody. Basically, is probably his thought
Right.
process.
I thought he hit him with the Boondock Saints, put 2 pennies on his eyes.
I did not expect the Gupta or whatever the ritual with the flower.
Oh yeah.
He mentioned, oh, I had a feeling they wouldn't kill me because I still got to do that to me.
Oh,
It's like, I didn't even think about that.
That is
Oh,
that ritual,
is that
isn't
what that
it?
ritual is? I
Yeah,
didn't even know that.
Yeah.
I didn't put that together either, but that makes
I didn't
sense.
either.
Hell
hmm
yeah.
Fuck yeah. Wow, that is totally what it is.
hmm
So, how about Adams being tied up? Like the Adams are sitting there like,
Yeah, like what?
what's it
Well, if you don't,
Right.
what kind of rope is this?
I'm surprised
What
I'm
is it?
surprised they can just
Adamantium.
like
Diamondium.
Yeah.
does somebody there command them like not to fight back or like?
Well, you could say like they have not been commanded to fight necessarily. So
Sure.
once they're commanded, they can just break out. Then
Yeah.
again, the last few chapters have been very campy, very like over the top. So like I don't know, why not tie them up? Who
Right,
cares?
yeah.
50 maids appear out of nowhere, even though the passwords are still on there or whatever.
Yo,
like,
the 50
whatever.
maids showing.
No
so
big deal.
is Ray just so technical and skilled in like Brazilian jiu-jitsu that he can like overpower a grown man and like break his arm
Fuck
backwards?
yeah, these kids are different, bro.
But they're still kids though. That's what I'm saying. Like you should
Right.
at least
You should
the
have seen
physical
me at
strength.
12 years old, dog. I was
Like
going
his
crazy.
technique has to be out of this world if he can do it to him, because you still should have the strength to overpower a fucking 13-year-old
I got
As a
footage of
grown
me in
ass man.
Taekwondo in 99.
with like military. Like these are trained, like they look like CIA agents and shit. Like you
Yeah.
should be cold as fuck, bro.
Yeah, I feel you.
I'm
you
still
just get
back at
hemmed
the-
up by a little ass kid, get your shit busted straight backwards.
A proper
Why not
arm
just
lock is a
kill-
proper arm lock, though.
Yeah.
This
just
man should
knowledge.
have a proper bicep.
It's not all about strength, okay? Once your shit's in a certain position, it don't matter how strong you
How
are.
you let
really.
him get you to that
How you-
position?
how you
got
get all
held
the-
up.
Element of surprise, bro.
You had the
Goodness.
gun on his head.
Don't worry about that. It's Promised Neverland, baby. Shut up. All right. Anyway,
Hayato
Man.
comes in clutch. He's
Yeah.
in there putting in work. Kick Buddy in the head.
hell yeah.
The dogs have been activated. Aish.
Yes.
I didn't see the dogs bite anybody. I wish I did. I just dragged to the ground.
Yeah, we need one
Straight
panel
up
like
done
that.
somebody like
I know.
Ramsey Bolton, bro.
Bite him in the
I'm trying
jaw.
to see, I'm trying to see Ratri with no lower jaw by the end of this.
Me too, though.
Yeah.
I always wish they would have showed that scene.
Yeah.
They said that it was too gruesome.
Well, whatever.
The producers were like, nah, G, we can't.
It's HBO, so I don't get that, but
Right. That's exactly what I was saying. I thought they should have.
yeah.
But they said it was like sinews tearing, like it was some of the most gruesome shit you've ever seen.
Yeah.
A dog ripping the lower jaw off of a human being.
Fuck it. HBO.
Hell yeah. Game of Thrones, baby.
Yeah.
What better place? But we're diverging.
Reel it in.
Did anyone think Isabella was gonna do anything but what she did?
No.
We've been
No.
called that like.
And
last,
I
like, 3
feel
or
like we
4
did talk
episodes.
about that. Like when they were first meeting up, I was like, one of us was like, said something about how like she's gonna use this as a catalyst to like gain trust and turn the tides on him later down the line.
I think Keiko was talking about like. How
Yeah, but
obvious
I
the
wanted it to
betrayal
be
was.
in an evil way. I
Yeah.
wanted it to further the story, like the despair in the story. You
Yeah.
know, like I didn't.
Well,
I
you
didn't
gotta
want it
think
to.
like
I think it's
you
still
gotta
bad.
think like
Sure.
What? Go ahead.
well, you
Nick.
gotta think like everybody. Oh yeah, go ahead.
I'm just saying, like, even though Isabella, betrays Peter or whatever, right? Like,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
she can still betray everyone,
kids,
betray
yeah.
the kids, and just get them into a false sense of security that they're winning, and then boom, turn the tides.
Yeah.
It's still very open for that.
Yeah.
But like, there's that dialogue there. Sorry.
There's
you
got to
go-
be an
go
evil
ahead.
person.
Well,
There's got to be one evil son of a bitch because like you would think all of these, even the mothers, they're part of this vicious cycle. They have trackers in their chests and shit, and they get yacked on at any point in fucking time. So like,
Yeah.
why would they want to keep this system in play?
Exactly.
So like it's kind of an easy conclusion to make that they're gonna kind of be on this train too. Like, yeah, if we can safely turn on these motherfuckers without jeopardizing our own position,
Yeah.
like if it's over, you know what I'm saying? It's over and we're gonna be like, okay, well, we'll ride with you motherfuckers. But
Right.
if there's any chance that you can still lose, we gotta ride over here
Right.
because we'll get yacked on too.
Yeah.
But
But who's
Yeah, I
the
thought it
final
was-
bad guy? What's the end game of this? of this-
maybe
Phil?
Oh, it's
Phil. Phil is the goddamn squiggly demon god.
But no, there's that dialogue that Isabella has where she's talking to the kids and she's like, you guys have fought and made all of these changes to the world. You know what I'm saying? And like, we could get information like next chapter where like that like confirms her motivations for betraying Peter here, right? Because I was talking a couple
Sure.
episodes about how ultimately she doesn't want to be in this position anymore, but she's being forced into it by Ratri. But she is still, pretty crazy up here and can like see all of the effort and all of the progress that the Gracefield House kids have made, and like is weighing the options and going, if I side with these kids, then we could really change this shit and humans could be fine. So that
Wow.
could go into her motivations as to why she's helping them here now, because
Think
she
about-
knows that how good of a position they'll be in if she's on their side, and ultimately she
about-
wants their outcome along with them.
What if that's her
There.
plan the whole time? What if this was her whole plan the entire time? Like she saw these gifted kids, like she knew she had to send out a Norman or whatever. And obviously she's going to she's going to like play both sides and she has to do X amount so she doesn't get herself in trouble. But if these fucking gifted kids were to escape, like
She seemed pretty confident that she was
She
done
broke
for
Emma's
before.
leg, though.
No, she seemed pretty confident that she was done for when Ratri came to her cell, or when they appointed her. Yeah, when he came to her cell and appointed her as a grandma, right? Like she was like, finally, I can leave this shit. I fucked up. I'm dead, but I'm happy with this. And then
Sure.
Ratri was like, no, you're not out of this shit yet. So I don't think that it was a part of her plan. Everything from like sending Norman out and the kids escaping. If that was the angle that Caillou Shirai like went, that would be fucking nuts. But like, I think just like her scene with Ratri in the dungeon kind of like tells us that it wasn't like that, because she was totally ready to die before
Well,
he
that
approached
and,
her
like-
with the grandma angle.
That and just her behavior when they were actually trying to escape. Like I think she was going pretty hard trying to keep them. Like, it's not like they have cameras constantly monitoring what she's doing, so it's not like they're gonna be like, why didn't you break her fucking leg? Like she didn't need to go as hard as she did in trying to stop them. Like she really broke Emma's leg.
That's a good
like,
point too.
y'all ain't getting out of here.
Yeah, that's a good point.
She could have just kind of been like, oh, y'all ain't getting out of here, but
Yeah,
if that was her plan to really let him go, she didn't,
Mhm.
it's a good point.
yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah.
Emma's facing the crosshair though, man. What if she just blew her shit back?
Man.
No words.
Bro.
That would
You can almost say no one in this arc is gonna die from a gun. No named character is gonna die from a gun in this arc.
And there's
You
so
know what I mean?
many
Like,
guns.
Named. And everybody's
possible.
named.
Yeah, everybody here is
right.
named.
But I'm
yeah.
saying, like, if Peter's got a gun to his head, Emma's got a gun to her head, everyone's got a gun to their head, no one's gonna die.
No, they're blowing Rattrey's shit off, bro.
Nope.
Fuck
Nope.
that.
No.
He's the only character who is gonna die from a fucking gun this arc.
But who's the bad guy then?
Isabella,
if they
bruh.
just kill Peter? No, aren't we just saying she's a good guy?
I don't know. Just plot twist.
Yeah.
Ratchet
but,
got to get lit up like Levis. Straight fucking cheesed up.
Yeah, dude. Oh man, Nick, now that you're on the show, you're making me like second guess the series. I was so happy that it was coming back to where it's at now. And it's just like all of these head scratchy, like arms crossed, like head cocked to the side situations that I didn't notice before.
I mean, it's fun. I'm
Yeah,
having a great
yeah.
time. I'm liking where it's going. But I am like, where the hell? Who's the bad guy here?
I was just so
anymore?
ready for it to go back to like real Grace Fieldhouse first arc vibes, you know. And it's just not.
I think
that.
it just got to a point too fast where like these like it's almost like a I don't know, just typical thing that happens where it's like people get so attached to these characters that it's like it's hard to really kill them off, you know.
Yeah.
Like it's obvious it's not to this degree, but like Oda can't kill a Straw Hat,
Yeah.
you know.
Or
Not
could he?
yet.
He can,
Not
It would just
yet.
have a lot of
he's
setup
not
and
gonna
Yeah.
because
it would be difficult to write for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah,
I guess you
but
can't
it's-
even really make that comparison because there's so much like marketing value in the Straw Hats that it's like
Yeah.
almost it would just be so detrimental to him to kill one because it's like
Yeah.
I mean you
Right.
can still sell merch and shit for him, but it's just
Yeah.
like
Right.
Usopp's dying. What you talking about? Usopp's
Anyway,
dying.
back to
That's the
Promised
one-
Neverland.
that's the one Straw Hat I do believe will die. But yeah,
I mean, that's really all I
EOS.
had to say about
Yeah,
this. You
me
know,
too.
like perfect scores is kind of corny to come in with that at the end. You know, like
I will say now, like the Phil point, right? Like
Yeah.
where the heck's Phil? You know,
He's
And
either
everyone-
dead already or he's a big deal in this arc.
right. I mean,
Yeah.
that's the big meme, obviously, and everyone always mentions where's Phil in all the comments, right?
Yeah.
But
how can
I
a
think it's
7-year-old?
it's still a good question because you know when an author does a popularity contest, say Yaoyorozu in Hero, right?
Yeah.
Like she was super highly ranked in one of the popularity contests, and that tells the author these are the characters that people want to see. Obviously, you could write any of these characters into your stories, but we want to see these characters, please. And
Yeah.
Phil is a super highly ranked character in Promised Neverland. He's gonna be impactful into the story somewhere.
for
you know,
sure.
like
100%.
either it's either going to be a really tragic death or he's going to be a bad guy or something. But you know he's going to come back in a big plot way
Yeah,
for sure.
100%. I'm here for it too. Let's go. Fill in the chair, spin it around. Yada yada.
that or he's just like hanging from the ceiling, upside down,
Fuck.
dead kid.
Hate to see that.
Yeah, I don't want that.
Yeah.
That'd be terrible.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm good though.
Yeah.
So with that, we can move on to chapter 241 of Black Clover. Super mid-air Batudu.
This shit was sick as fuck, bro.
Very good. Very good chapter.
It was, but we got to talk about. I think first thing is that he does negate the whole gravitational area, right?
Yeah.
No. Not Asta. Rouge. Rouge.
Oh yeah,
negates
he
the
was talking
gravity.
about Rouge. Yeah.
I think his
Okay.
black slashes are just unaffected by the gravity. Like
They-
they're
they- they are not
anti-magic
affected.
body.
Wait.
They
Oh
might
yeah.
be.
Yoda, yeah,
They might be
because
affected.
he sent the black slashes and he tried to do something and it didn't do anything. So that
Right.
means that his magic is in the form of gravity itself, and he's not just like changing the gravitational like law in the area, and then that's the end of his magic spell. Because remember we were talking about that last week about like what
right.
his magic is actually doing.
Yeah.
And,
Right.
and if his magic is just in the form of gravity, then Asta will always be able to just slash through it. And what can this
Sure.
dude really do? But
Well, and it could,
his-
still be in the form of mass area because like he could be freely manipulating it at will because he like goes up.
yeah,
You know, he throws the trees up at him. Like he could
Right.
just be changing like
Right.
10 times gravity now. Oh,
Right.
back to fucking
Oh,
reverse
Well,
or
but
maybe he
Asta-
has
fucking
both. Sure, yeah,
negative
Asta
100 times
is-
gravity to send them flying up at you.
yeah,
Right. Asta is impacted by the gravity. he's not immune to the gravity because after Rouge goes back to the hideout to be with Vanessa, then when Asta goes and attacks from behind, he is able to get dropped by the gravity. So he's not immune to it.
No, not immune, but like he just didn't see that coming. But I bet you if he like could
Rouge,
tell,
Rouge is what prevented all of that. And so the devil guy, the king or whatever, I forget his name, but like Dante, right? He was like, yo, you have someone who can change natural laws, and that's Rouge.
Yeah, for sure.
Rouge is the one that's changing natural laws, not Asta.
Yeah.
Super sick fight anyway.
Yeah, and I think that like so last chapter I was like, okay, so his magic is either changing the gravitational, resistance in an area, and then like that's his magic spell, and then the gravity does the rest, or his magic actually takes the form of gravity. It could be both. He could.
I think it is both.
Yeah, it could be both, and that would be sick. But it like even if it was just his magic takes the form of gravity, his gravity is also affecting himself, and that's why he's like.
Yeah,
I would assume that's why he's like weaving in and out of
after
attacks.
Images. Yeah,
right. So like I was thinking, I was like, if the gravity is his magic, then like Asta's gonna wash him. You know what I'm saying? But if he uses the gravity on himself to, get in and out and then hit him because obviously the reason why Asta got hit by the gravity and got sent down is because it was like kind of like too fast for him to react to. But like if Asta knew that attack was coming, he could have blocked it or deflected it or slashed through it because it's magic. You know what I'm saying? Well, yeah. Well,
I'm not convinced by that.
Well, yeah, that's what we were talking. That's the whole argument basically that we had last week.
So the reason for me, the reason that when he was attacking and his slashes went through was because Rouge was with him on his shoulder. Then he sent the trees after him. The trees did nothing. It was kind of a weird situation because Rouge was with him.
It hit
him, but didn't. And so then he commented again. Dante commented again. Oh, you got someone's messed with natural laws. Then he went over to the hideout. Then Rouge went back to Vanessa. Then Asta came and attacked, and then got. So I'm not even sure. I'm not even sure it is.
So
Asta
it doesn't have to be.
I think the only thing
is the
Rouge
gravity.
did is keep him from getting killed by the trees, because he literally got skewered by the trees. I think what happened is that the black slashes are anti-magic made
maybe they're immune
into form.
Yeah.
So they're constantly going through negating whatever magic comes in contact with them.
Sure.
Yeah.
Whereas the magic is like continual in a way where if he does know that it's coming, he slashes up, that negates the gravity that he slashed across, but it keeps coming. So like the only reason the black slashes were able to keep going is because they're constantly negating the gravity that's pushing down on them.
I could see that.
Whereas,
and that could happen.
So you're thinking
if he does a singular slash negating magic up, like that's negating whatever magic he passed across, but the gravity's still coming down on his ass.
Right. So you're thinking that the reason why, because obviously Dante tried to use a defensive gravitational attack to stop the black slashes.
Yeah.
Obviously
the same thing he used on Gosha's, just pushed them all down.
Right. So like so you're saying that if Dante's magic is just affecting the gravitational law in a specific area, that the black slashes are going to be able to go through even that kind of situation, even if the gravity isn't like magic like itself.
Well, the gravity is being influenced by magic, so it's magic gravity.
Yeah, because
the black slashes are anti-magic.
I know,
so they just pass right through it.
I know.
No. I know what you're saying, Noxie. And you're saying
I'm having a hard time explaining.
Okay, so that and
I think he can manipulate the gravity of a wide area or any given object at any given time.
The proof is that the black slashes go through and he has to dodge them and they're not pushed down.
Right.
And Dante does say,
well, they wouldn't be because
he negated my magic.
Exactly. That's what we're talking about.
And he's like kind of like putting his hand out at the slashes, and the slashes are unaffected.
Right.
And with Rouge not being with the slashes, I kind of then I agree that like the slashes do negate whatever's happening.
Right.
So that kind of puts me on the side of Rouge only stopped the getting
trees.
Hit. Yeah, the trees and the original last chapter where he just does the gravity on the whole thing and it doesn't kill anybody. I think he expected everybody to just die.
Right.
So
yeah, I can see that.
So I am kind of in that camp of because Well, and I do kind of want to talk about too, like the after imaging. Like, how is he doing that? Is he putting gravity this way so it pushes him out of the direction, or is he making it like such a high gravitational pull that it pulls him so fast out of the way? Or
I think that either one of those.
Yeah.
or he just lowers it to nothing, to negative a billion, and
then
can
he
just
can
move. It
Like
just
Uraraka,
but like he puts out this whole area in which, because it would have to be. That would have to be an area that he has that he can move within with that amount of speed. That whole chunk of air, whatever, would have to be affected by zero gravity or less or whatever, like for him to be able to move that fast. So it's hard. It's hard to know. Like, so it's very possible that this wasn't that thought through, and it doesn't matter because we're not going to get clarity on it. Very, very possible.
Yeah, maybe, yeah.
But maybe not.
There has to be, like, if his magic is gravity, like, that's something that if you're going to give a character the ability of gravity manipulation, you kind of got to put a lot of thought into that and have explanations for it.
Right.
Because that's going to raise a lot of questions.
Yeah.
I think the trees part does hint at what his ability is a little better, because the trees came up to a point.
You're right.
That's what I was thinking too. Like Karozu, fucking a black hole sucked it to that point.
It seems like he is picking a point in space and saying that place has high gravity. Like you could imagine an imaginary planet at a point.
Yeah.
This planet is very dense, so the gravity is going towards it, and so he picked like, Asta, you are the epicenter of this gravity, and all the gravity is getting sucked to you. That's why all the trees came at an angle.
Yeah.
And the only reason he dodged because Rouge. But then when he's dodging around the slashes, he's saying the gravity starts there, and it's really big, and it's going to suck me toward it. And so he kind of teleports.
Oh.
That's what I was saying. The first option.
Yeah.
See, now this is making me think like that his ability is just even more all-encompassing for gravitational shit than we're thinking. Like, we're trying to kind of nail it down to one type, but I think he can take the ability, like he can take a massive area and say like the gravity in this area
is this,
or he can take a singular point, like a person, like Nickums was just saying.
Yeah.
So this point has such massive gravitational pull that everything around it is going to get sucked into it.
Yeah.
Right.
But all of that
or he can
implies that
take objects, or he might have just been taking the trees because of the way he took his finger up like that.
Sure.
He could have just been taking the trees specifically and said, these trees have nothing. Boom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gravity,
Sure. Sure. Yeah.
But like, it's just such a big deal to know the difference, right? Because it's like, if he is actually just saying magic, make the gravity in this area this, then that means that after that spell tells the gravity what to do, the gravity is doing the rest on its own.
And there's no more magic involved.
And there's no more magic involved for Asta to cancel. Exactly.
Yeah. Well, no,
because now the gravity the gravity is just that way in that area. Asta's anti-magic. Asta's anti-magic.
You would have had to like counterspell at the beginning.
I think it's a channeling thing where as long as he's casting that Demon King spell, the gravity in that area that he chooses is going to be
So that means that all of the gravity involved in all of these situations has magic tied to it that Asta can cancel.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
I think so too.
Okay.
If he does it, but just like you're saying before, he couldn't cancel the one that hit him in the head and pushed him right into the ground. Yeah, he didn't have time to.
Exactly.
And then when he transforms into his devil form, he's no longer affected by gravity. Period. But
that's my next question, okay? Because Gauche uses a magical ability on him when he's in Black Divider. How the fuck can Gauche use magic on him when he's holding Demon Slayer?
Well, I think I saw somebody comment on a post you made about it, and they were saying that his eye is a magic item.
Yeah, but still.
So it's technically just mirroring Asta and creating after images of him.
Right, but his magic still has to target Asta in order to have the effect that it has.
Gauche's magic is definitely involved. It ain't just looking into a magic mirror.
Like it's a cause and effect like progression, right? So like he says, Asta, look at me, which is a condition to activate whatever Mirror Brigade move he uses.
Yeah.
And so like if he looks at him, then that means that Asta is the target for his magic to take whatever effect it has anywhere else and whatever factor is involved. How is his magic able to target Asta and have an effect if Asta is shrouded in anti-magic?
Is it that when he targets to do the doubling, to do the mirroring, that is I see what you're saying. Like, why is that targetable? But like, say that is not the ability per se that is cancelable. Like, you can just create doubles. If say Gauche was a bad guy, he had the doubles attack Asta. Is it that Asta would be able to easily dismiss them just by like they clang swords together?
Yeah.
Boom, Asta's swords just immediately win because those aren't real things. Those are magic doubles.
Yeah.
And so he can just blow right through them. But the creating of the doubles, like, how do you stop that? Like, what do you hit with a sword to counteract it? You know
I think
what,
what I'm saying is just that some kind of magic has to reach Asta in order to get the desired effect that Gauche is trying to go for. So he has to, the magic has to reach him to create a double. I feel like
it's a double
but
standard.
It can, though. Like,
gravity
he has to do shit to cancel it, right? Like,
it'd be a double standard.
Magic can hit him, like attack spells and shit like that.
Attack spells,
sure, concept,
right? But like this is more of like
target him and hit him.
Yeah, but like this is more of like it's not like an attack because the attack hits and then it's done. But like this move is targeting Asta, identifying him as the target, and then creating an effect thereafter.
But with what you're thinking is like there's some kind of aura around him of anti-magic where spells can't be cast on him or affect him. That would mean that like magic attacks would dissipate like a foot from his body or something.
No, because that's like a physical like hit, right? So like so like the difference is that it's a target and then effect thereafter. A physical attack like hitting him, if it runs into him, it's going to run into him.
But it's magic.
Yeah, I know that. But like,
which if he hit with the sword would dissipate and disappear.
Right, but there's more.
Or get deflected or something.
There's a second step. There's a second step in Gauche's technique than just running into him. If it was just running into him and dealing damage, that's one thing. But it's running into him and then creating another effect afterwards. Now that the target has been selected.
How about this?
Yeah.
He's just a physical form, though.
When you look at something, it is light bouncing off a thing and hitting your eye, right?
Yeah.
Gauche has this item or a technique or whatever.
It's an item in his eye, yeah.
That takes those light particles and his magic ability. He already sees Asta. You know what I mean? It's already hit his eye. Asta has nothing to do with it anymore. He takes the particles that hit his eye and uses magic to create a double.
Yeah.
So it isn't that he targeted Asta with magic.
Yeah.
It's that anything he sees, he can target with magic.
Yeah, I like that.
Separated in a way. I will say for the record that I don't think we're going to get a good explanation for this. And I'm trying very hard to give one.
Yeah, and
but
actually,
I think there is. I think we can think of them.
Now that I remember, I remember now. There's a panel in the Witch Queen arc where the Witch Queen says that he has control over his anti-magic and he's been like unconsciously like turning it on and turning it off. So like I think Asta has control of his anti-magic to where even if it was like a target and envelop and then effect thereafter kind of situation, Asta can choose what magic gets canceled and what doesn't.
Sure.
So like obviously he would allow the magic from a homeboy to hit him and give an effect. Yeah,
I see it.
Yeah. But
so
that was just the biggest question I had from this chapter. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Question I had was: is this the first time we are seeing Gauche's other eye?
No.
Okay.
No.
We've seen
I just don't remember.
a couple of times. Like
we've seen it
plenty of times enough that this is either inserting an item or turning on an item or turning on an ability.
It's
the first time we saw it was in the Licht fight, right? When he used that giant ass mirror to reflect his big ass light ray.
Yeah.
Way back.
We've seen this ability already?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we've seen
Mirror Brigade.
And we saw it recently in the Mary and Ghost fight against the
I don't think it was Mirror Brigade. I think it was something else.
We've definitely seen him make light clones after looking at someone before.
Okay.
Yeah.
We've for sure seen that. And he used it on Asta. He's used it on Asta before.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we've had multiple Asta clones through Gauche before
I think so too.
Yeah.
Cool ability anyway.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, Tabata definitely, puts teams together pretty well.
Yeah, his teamwork, teamwork combat is one of his strong suits. This shit is sick as fuck to see.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, and Asta's like teamed up with so many different like variations of the bulls, or even Yuno too. It was like him and Yuno versus the Licht at first, and then they're obviously later in that there was a bunch of crazy shit with that. I don't really count that, but like Asta and Vanessa and Finral versus whatever, the despair guy. What was his name?
Beto.
Beto. Yeah. So it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
But, that's really all I had.
Me too.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, then with that, we can move on to Boku no Hero Academia.
Wow.
Chapter 262, Mirko.
This is the best chapter of Hero ever.
Hero.
This
was massive.
It's really good. It's really good.
I'm not going to say it's the best chapter of Hero ever. I mean, like, in all action chapter,
it's got
the
hands.
best chapter in a story like this. There's way too much, like, impeccable writing in too many other areas for an action chapter to be the best chapter of it. But it was definitely extremely lit. I'm not going to lie, but...
Right.
I don't know. No fucking information fucking chapter will ever give you the hype that this chapter will give you. Like I don't know. And this gave me something that I've needed in Hero so long. Like a regular size, regular high power physical fucking fight. That isn't fucking All Might punching fucking the sky open, because it's like but there's no middle ground, and then there's like a bunch of regular ass fucking martial arts on people, you know, where it's like we're all you know, maybe human level base times 5, where Mirko is base times, you know, it's 200, 500.
It's very good to see a physical fighter that's not All Might doing things at this level. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. This puts a lot of things into perspective.
And the way that all the applications, like that she's using, you know, like, I mean, she absorbs the blast with her legs to, you know, minimize damage.
That's right.
You know, and
sick.
Yeah. I mean, obviously she has. Anybody, you know, could have assumed she has super hearing with giant ears. You know?
Right.
But like, you know, don't you get the Pito vibes too? You know, like she just jumps off shit and the explosion and shit. You know, when she jumps off, like, I don't know, like, and we just don't. I don't know. I don't think we have. Have we had like a scene like this where it was just?
I don't know. I don't think we have.
We call it like, well, just like full. I mean, there's determination scenes, sure, but like she has her arm ripped off. She ties the bitch and says, "What's good?"
with her hair.
No, hell no. This is the best fucking chapter here.
It's very sick. Before we can come back to Mirko, but like Quirk is great. It's exactly what I needed to see from it, because I was very like confused as to like what this dude can do, and the application is really fucking sick there.
Right.
I just wanted to say words about that there. But yeah, Mirko, and you're right, Keiko, I don't think that we have seen a character go through what Mirko went through with the kind of like demeanor about it that she has. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
You lose a limb and you're still going, and it don't fucking matter to you. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's... I'm trying to remember if we have seen that, but I don't think we have.
The art has, I feel like the art has come a long way. Or maybe, honestly, maybe it was just that I was reading bad scans. I don't know. But like, I swear, like, it's way better than it used to be. And you like get to see every like blow in this fight. Like she gets, you know, hit in her face one of them times where it just, so her face is already bleeding from the side. She gets hit in the same side. And then it like forces her eye and her shit closed. Now she's like stuck like that, you know, where she was, you know, it was blood coming down from that side, but now that side is just done. Like her whole one side of her face is broken after that, you know, like, and that's like in the middle of her combo, you know, like whatever, the guile kick. That's why I said we got to hit the
Luna.
guile.
You have the Luna ring, then you have the Luna fall,
then
you have the Luna, whatever Spanish word that is.
So let me jump in here a little bit. I don't know if you all caught this reference, but the Luna connection, right? Luna, the moon.
Yeah.
And to Japanese people, Chinese people, Korean people, when you look at the moon, you don't see a guy like we see. You see a rabbit.
M.A.N.G.A.
There's the rabbit on the moon, so I think there's your Luna connection. Why she used Luna moves.
Shit.
The third technique, Luna Tijeras, is a Spanish word for scissors, apt for cutting a dude's head off with your legs.
Yo.
So yeah, I thought that was pretty cool.
Hurricane Rana for watching fucking WCW.
Oh shit, little Rey Mysterio action. Dude, Kohei's in his bag, bro. This motherfucker was waiting for this.
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
this is definitely the hardest body chapter of Hero.
I I love Mirko's attitude generally, where she, like, you know, the gnome was like, die, and she's like, sure, but only when it's my time to die, you know? Like,
yes,
she's
her
so
dialogue
cool.
is so
and her like dialogue
incredible.
after the whole fight, and she's just like so cool.
He's like, okay, so like it looks like I'll kill y'all if I destroy your brain, which is great because that makes you like easier to kill than regular villains, right?
Right.
You know, and I was like, holy fucking shit. And then she was like, can't remember her dialogue at the end there, but she was like, I lost my arm, that shit fucking hurts, but like that's not gonna stop the number 5 hero. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever she said there. Her like last dialogue of her segment was just so fucking sick.
She almost says it like nonchalantly, like I can't keep fighting with this. I gotta like take care of this real quick.
You gotta tie this off. Yeah.
You know, then but that's I don't know. I'm just so invested in Mirko too. Like that's maybe why this is such a high impact chapter. I mean, obviously it's a high impact chapter for anybody, but I just feel like it's the best chapter I ever read because I love her character, sure, but I just want these types of fighting style characters in the show. I'm tired 100%. Of fire shots, shooting fire. I'm tired of the shit. Like I want people's fucking heads ripped off with legs. And
there it is.
People fucking double face fucking flip kicks, man. Like man.
But not just that though, not just that, and I totally agree with you. But not just that, because it's not a pure fighting, you know, kung fu character against another pure fighting kung fu character.
Yes.
It is a pure fighting character against someone who does like, you know, black hole type shit and rips your arm off.
All types of shit.
You know, and it's long range fighting versus short range fighting, and she does that for strategy. I'm like, I love her.
She's and she has that dialogue there that was like, usually you long range types don't really do too well up close.
Her face in that panel looked vicious and terrifying.
Fuck yeah, dude, and even her face in the last panel where she's licking the blood off of her face.
I was like, yo, she's a fucking monster, dude.
And it's cool that like a female character in Hero is getting like this kind of like treatment, right? Because like that's like kind of like where I felt like Hero was kind of like lacking a little bit. Like I can't really think of too many like incredible like female character moments that are like stand out among like other male character moments. So it's great that we're getting this from Mirko here, and I feel like she's being handled in a way where like she's doing like dude character type shit. You know what I'm saying? Like this is kind of like shit that you'd usually see, you know, like a guy, you know, character get his arm fucking ripped off and it doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? Or like or this kind of dialogue that she has is usually, you know, guy character type shit. But
on that note, I feel like all these people on Twitter that were roasting Horikoshi for, you know, saying that he didn't, you know, give females, you know, y'all better be
people hate Horikoshi.
Happy.
Y'all need to reflect and y'all need to apologize because she's been here the whole goddamn time.
Right, but the last moment that she had
in his bag, he was like, "Oh, y'all think I don't treat females good? Y'all gonna see. All right, I got this Mirko bitch. She gonna come out and y'all gonna be like."
and I'm very happy about it. I didn't think he didn't have it in him, but like I was one of those people that was complaining about, you know, the handling of female characters in his story. You know what I mean?
We thought we were going to see, like, Ryuki. Is that her name? The dragon?
Ryuku?
Yeah.
She was very underwhelming. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And, like, and just, like, the fact that, like, Midnight was, you know, the one, you know, pro hero, like, teacher that got...
lady.
Yeah, well, no. In that exam arc where...
No, there isn't another female teacher.
No. In that exam arc where... all of the kids like teamed up like in a duo to like fight one teacher. Sure. And then you had like Bakugo and Deku versus All Might. You had Shoto and fucking Yaoyorozu versus Aizawa. And then you had Sero and Mineta versus Midnight. And Sero was taken out like instantly, and then Mineta soloed Midnight. He was the only character in that exam arc that beat a teacher 1v1, and it was Midnight.
Right.
I was like, what the fuck?
I didn't remember that. That's
I was like, this was your fucking time to, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was like, that was like one of my major complaints. And then the last time we saw Mirko was in the Pro Hero arc after Endeavor beat the high end, and then Dabi pulled up, had his words, and then Mirko was like, "Rah!" And then he was like, all right, bye, peace. And she just showed up too late. That was the last time that you saw Mirko. She just showed up too late to a fight. So I was like, female characters aren't being represented, you know, like well enough in this like these badass situations that all these male characters have.
You could tell he was really holding that in his
but he was holding that back.
And her showing up at that Dabi shit with this chapter.
Yeah,
she's catching his ass.
Oh yeah. And
there's no way.
And I was just saying, like, I didn't say that Horikoshi didn't have it in him to write female characters properly. I was just saying, like, up until now, we haven't really seen anything worth writing home about, and that was like my main complaint with him as a storyteller was where are the good female
I think
moments?
some of the stuff with the girls in the school and the class has been decent.
On a student level, sure, you'll see some cool shit.
Yeah.
But like on a pro hero level, where are they at?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Sure.
Right.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
And plus, I think a lot of it is like just the fact that I don't know. It's a lot of these heroes suffer from like just not really being like almost One Punch Man syndrome, where it's like
We got a bunch of women
outside
riders
the
out
top class, like it's these dudes are not tight at
Well,
all. You know.
yeah.
now I want to see a ranking of the heroes in terms of One Punch Man hero rankings or
here.
whatever.
Yeah. I mean,
That'd be pretty cool to see.
You know,
Oh,
like
yeah.
you got the S class, and then like even like you got A class, like you know, about halfway down, and then after that, you're getting really like shitty fucking
Right.
people.
Well, a few chapters ago, we got the information that there are like rare quirks, you know. So there is a tiered system that we don't know the full information for yet, but we will
Do
eventually.
we know Ryukyu's hero rank?
She's like in top 10.
Ryukyu.
I think she's
the dragon one,
she's
right?
top. She's
Yeah.
top 20, isn't she?
I thought she was top 10 maybe, but yeah.
I don't
I'm
know
not
if
sure.
she's top 10.
I just think there hasn't been enough time. Like I've been saying, like this is a long, you know, story. This is
Yeah.
going to be a long burn story. There's going to be there hasn't been with what's. I mean, how do you like flesh out fucking all these characters and like all these major plot points? Also give the villains their time. It's like Horikoshi gives like everybody their time, you know, that's been established thus far. That, you know, it's kind of hard to, you know, get it in, you know, if there's 1,000 chapters, we're gonna be like, okay, you know, we're gonna look back at whatever we're at. What is this, 250? So whatever, it's, you know, and be like, okay, here's where, you know, this kind of changed, but
Yeah.
I think Horikoshi will keep at, you know, there's definitely, you know, I don't think this is one and done. That was what I should.
Yeah.
No, definitely. I like one of the main things that like I like commemorate Kohei for is that like he did a really good job of like leaving out the heroes in like the upper echelon out of the story. You know what I'm saying? Like so that we could see like so that we can get an understanding of like quirks on like almost like a, you know, like a ground level or like a lower level, so that
definitely.
when these big named heroes finally come in and activate, it's that much more impactful because we are so used to quirks on a student level besides like All Might or Endeavor, and like we don't really see the rest of the top heroes that much, so that we're sitting here going, okay, so this is the scale of power in this like middle tier, so that when the high tiers come in, which is very few and far between, it's that much more holy shit, like it's more of a hype moment. You know what I'm saying?
Well, and this helps me, you know, scale heroes a little better because I always felt like the heroes were not that much stronger than Class A. Like, and I was like,
and
that
then Mirko comes in and her shit is drastic.
Yeah. And I was like, that just doesn't feel right for like
yeah.
Endeavor to come in and fight the hooded fucking Nomu and take, you know, as much damage as he did, as hard as it was. You know, obviously,
bro, the kids are getting fucking decimated by that Nomu.
Well, yeah,
Sure.
but I mean, but in his point though, in Kiko's point, Endeavor's the number one hero.
Yeah,
he's talking
number
about
one hero.
He's talking about
he should
everyone
have
else.
washed it. You know, like, I feel like, you know,
Most other heroes are getting decimated by that Nomu.
Yeah.
top,
Yeah.
but yeah, sure.
Endeavor was probably the only one who could have beaten him.
Okay, and that's not what I'm talking about. I'm just saying like the distance between Endeavor and Bakugo, let's say, even though with that training arc that we had with them three training, you know, as apprentices at his hero agency, you know, that gave us a little bit more of the gap there.
Yeah.
But for a while it really seemed like Bakugo and, you know, I felt like, you know, Bakugo and Todoroki would just work Aizawa, you know, like he had no chance again. If they 2v1'd him, like he'd have no chance. And in most stories, like there's just no, and obviously that's probably not true, right?
Right. Or another comparison would be like
That's how it felt.
Shoto and Endeavor. You know what I mean? Like even Shoto seems so overpowered, you know what I mean? Like so powerful. But I do think if, say, he shot his biggest ice blast at Endeavor would be like, what? Fire.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
nothing. You're
Yeah.
dead. Like
Endeavor's flash firing on his ass.
But
and
I
knocking him
totally
the
I totally
fuck
agree that
out.
like the kids generally seem really, really powerful.
Well, that's because that's the main
relative to
focus of
most
power
heroes.
that we have in the series. That goes back to what I was saying about how like we've been focused on a student level of
and
power.
Quirk evolution too.
Well, we've just been focused on like the middle tier of power for so long, and we never see the higher tiers doing anything. So like, and they don't really do much when they do show up. You know, so like, of course, we're very confused on the gap in their strength. You know what I mean? But like,
There's also that in the arc where you know, Todoroki, Bakugo, Deku are training under Endeavor. You know, just a couple of chapters ago, right? In the internship, Endeavor kind of mentioned to Deku, you know, like, oh, you're one of us. You're one of the types that our genetics, our quirk progression over the generations has progressed past human control.
Yeah.
And that's why, like, I get too hot. You break your bones because you're too strong.
Mhm.
We are definitely hearing that now there's a lot of students in UA who actually they're in that level where they're like really, really powerful, almost too powerful for what a human body can even handle. So it's like, so I think it makes some sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
At least, yeah, Bakugo's definitely there. His bones fucking creak under the pressure of his shit.
Right. Keiko, you mentioned the art this chapter, you know, obviously getting better or whatever. I would just want to point out that, like, one of the biggest things we've been talking about for a long time about the art in Hero is that what's the bad part about it? It's fight scenes where there's a lot of fight scenes where there's swooshes this way and swirls that way and explosions, and you're like, what is going on right now? This chapter, you can go chapter by panel, boom,
panel by panel.
Boom.
Yeah.
I can follow the entire thing with this Mirko fight, and it really makes it a lot more enjoyable than past fights.
And immersive. And like I just don't care about those fights when I can't tell it. As soon as I can't tell what the one panel is, I start feeling like you lost me on this whole
A
fight.
lot of it is because like Kohei, like Kohei's action art kind of like really shines on the physical side of things. When you have like long range mages shooting fire and ice and like a combination of like long range quirks, it's really hard to tell what's going on because you're right, like it swirls this way, whoosh that way, explosions all over the place. He doesn't know how to let those panels breathe very well.
Right.
But when it's a physical fighter, it's a lot easier to follow what's going on because you see the body everywhere.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
but even like when Mirko jumps off like the fucking tank and all that shit and that explosion happens, you can see like the explosion and like pieces of things, you know, like like the explosion makes sense. It's not just
it's getting better overall all over the place, but I'm talking about like the previous fights and how like before you started seeing this progression of better quality in action, that was like the major complaint, is that there was just too many explosions and too many powers all in one panel. And it was just hard, like he just wasn't letting it breathe right. But now I feel like he's like really in his rhythm now.
I totally agree.
So something I saw that goes really, really nicely along with what Nickums was saying was that Mirko actually has a crescent moon on her chest.
Oh,
she does?
Yeah.
What?
Nice. Yep, you're totally right. Yep, right there. Her big symbol is a moon,
bro.
Oh, that's awesome. I didn't even notice that.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
So that moon lore is really solidified there.
Kohei in his bag.
And I also, Jesus Christ,
don't die.
You good?
I also feel like we've been really zoned in on this Mirko shit. We haven't talked about Eggman at all.
No,
is he like hitting it, like he's expediting the process here and just saying fuck it, like we're hitting this last 30% in this next 5 minutes type shit?
Yeah.
And this is Shigaraki, right? This is Shigaraki.
Yes. The one in the panel with like this white hair, like he looks really different.
He looks really come out, bro. He's about to come out on some other shit, bro.
Yeah.
On some straight like
I hope some other heroes show up before Shigaraki comes out, because if Shigaraki comes out while Mirko's at fucking 30%, it's over with.
Yeah.
Sorry. Like
Crust
No, I think you're totally right. I mean, if Shigaraki versus Mirko, I think Shigaraki's gonna take it pretty easily. Yeah, boom, you're dead.
For Shigaraki, bro.
Huh? Yeah, Crust too.
Terrible matchup.
Hand wave, out of here.
Yeah.
Like your shit is nothing to me, bro.
Yeah.
I will fucking crumble your shit in an instant, Crust. You fucking pussy. Get the fuck out of my face.
Jesus Christ.
Hold on, bro. That's my guy, Crust, bro. Give him a little bit more credit than that,
name, bro. Number 6 hero, Crust.
He's number 6 for a reason.
Yeah.
What's Eggman talking about? It's in bold. It says at this point only woman and the other 4 had any sort of trial.
Yeah, what's that?
Talking about the Nomu.
One of the Nomu has some moves.
Okay.
Oh, really?
And I think that's what
so
he's
named
referring
it woman. Okay.
Yeah.
The Nomu that are fighting. Yeah.
Okay. All right, fine.
Yeah.
Wow.
Why is that one bolded though? Like it's just-
I thought the same thing when I was reading it. I was like, what's so important about this? I think it's just some sort of like name. It could be a code name, and in Japanese you got the quotes that are like the bars like this or whatever. That could be a key word that the translator just wanted us to give us a little bone, like this is a special word, but maybe they did it in a kludgy way. Who knows? I think we know who they're talking about, but I totally agree. It was very weird to see it bold so weirdly like that.
I thought the same thing.
Now that we got like a kind of a firm ranking system here on Nomu's too.
That's right.
Which one fought All Might at USJ?
All Might was high end.
Okay.
You think it was a high end? I hope it was a high end because the drawing really seemed to say that it was
an upper
tier. because
Yeah.
they're talking about how like the Nomu are classified by how many quirks they have in their physical stats, right? So like if that Nomu that fought All Might was a high end, then he would have like 100 quirks or some shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
but he only had one special trait. You know what I mean?
I think it does make sense for it to be an upper tier as long as it's like
it's tailor made for All Might still.
Tailor-made for absorption, damage,
it didn't have personality.
That's fine.
Kind of stuff.
Yeah, but like the high ends have got to have like 20 quirks.
Well, and they have a personality, and they can speak really clearly, and they act as if they were the person that they were.
Yeah, it keeps the host's personality
goes,
traits.
So, and the one that fought All Might was just like,
Well, I agree that it's very like it's a downer, it's a letdown. That to know that it's like an upper, it's like what? So
not really,
that big fight was
Quirk
nothing.
was
that was just like that was a
so
baby.
specifically tailored to.
I think the scale of the Nomu's strength is like in regard to anybody else. Like generally. This is a really strong Nomu to like a regular person, but like this upper tier that fought All Might was still tailor made, even though it was upper tier. So it still had like special attention paid to it, even though it falls in that class.
Sure,
right?
And we get it, but I just it's always left a bad trail for scaling to start because it's just like All Might's the top. He should have just blown that motherfucker away right away. And
you shouldn't be scaling inside of My Hero Academia though, because everything is so matchup based.
I know.
Yeah, it's about matchups. You can't just go.
You
can't just go this strength stat and then scale it down to everyone like beneath it. It's like this quirk versus this quirk.
Well, and he himself said he was like, I've declined so much. This shit took this many hits in my fucking prime. I would have blasted this dude away in 5 hits.
Yeah, he did say that too.
Compared to over 300.
I know.
And he did have shock, not.
But it still has enough to do that against all.
Not nullification, but absorption.
Yeah.
And obviously he can't use the same amount of power that he would have used against All for One to fight that guy. You know, like because that's crazy. That's crazy that he could tap into that much power still when he had that much of a problem with that USJ Nomu. It always kind of felt off.
Well, it's just like you have to like make sure that you don't reach your upper limit when you're fighting a pawn.
Sure.
Yeah.
All for one. Kill yourself to beat him, but you're not going to kill yourself to beat a Nomu.
Exactly. Right. Yeah. Well, he would have if he had to, but he didn't have to.
Right. Which says a lot about All Might. I feel like your complaint is that All Might struggled so much against a Nomu when he was only using like a finite amount that he had decided he wanted to use to beat it.
See, what do you mean? So you can't say finite like that. That's his strongest ability. That was. Well, I guess it's so hard to say. Like,
did he even use a single
right away? He
named smash attack against the Nomu?
Oh yeah.
Did he?
No,
I don't think he did.
Right away, he said, "I'm going to force you to surrender from beyond." He was like, "If your quirk is so specifically tailored to fight me with the shock nullification, I'm going to force you to surrender from beyond 100%." So he was using over 100% of his power. Deku had that dialogue too, where he was like, each one of his punches is over 100% of his power. He's not swinging randomly.
Okay,
but it is a weird situation that Nomu wasn't a high end, but it's just, I think that All Might.
It's fine. It's fine. I'm not trying to make that
use
big
the multiple
of a deal
quirks. Like if All Might was like Deku and he's going to be using multiple quirks, a high end's got to fight him. But since he's only doing the shock, the shock nullification is good.
The high end
just punching you, just punching you. Shock nullification is strong against that.
The high end that fought Endeavor wasn't tailor made for Endeavor either, though. So like the high end was just a high end to anybody, like that.
Right.
It was,
Sure.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like,
Yeah, definitely.
That's what makes it make a little bit more sense that the high end was on that level, and the one that fought Nomu or All Might was a upper tier that was just tailor made for him. You know what I'm saying? So like,
Yeah.
that gap.
I am hoping that the Nomu kind of take a back seat or go away after Eggman gets his shit handed to him, right? Because I mean, we have enough villains that I don't know why we need these nameless, characterless Nomu. Now, I guess with the high ends, they at least have personalities, but they're very limited personalities.
Right.
I'm hoping that once these labs get destroyed, we can just say, okay, there's no more Nomu. We can't make him anymore. Let's focus on the villains that actually have characters.
Yeah, I feel you.
Did we ever get confirmation that the hooded one was fully ready to go? Was he like fully completed? Because his personality didn't seem to be as intricate as Kurogiri, right? Like, because Kurogiri is the same thing, right? A high-end Nomu used with Shirakumo's body, right?
Well, this could be another situation where it's tailor made for a certain purpose, right? To actually like blend in as a regular person could be the focus that was put on.
That's fair. That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah. So could be a situation like that, but
So Mirko needs help though, right? She's gonna 1v3 the rest of them with one arm.
Yeah.
Didn't she?
But she's not going to do anything to Shigaraki.
Beat all of them?
Not. I'm not talking about Shigaraki. I'm talking about just fighting the rest of the. No, she still has to 1v3 the rest of them. They're still there.
There was 4 of them to start, right?
I thought she kind of like smacked them. I guess. I guess there's still 3 that probably.
She only actually killed one of them.
The sound effect was wobble. I think she hit him pretty hard.
Yeah.
She might have some seconds, I guess, to
she still definitely has to 1v3.
These 2 that she hit with the ring are out of there.
No, they're not.
No, because she has that dialogue.
Ladder.
No, I don't think that was enough.
Only one.
Their brains pretty fucking destroyed.
I think only one is done.
No, she's saying that. I guess crushing your noggins does the trick. Like
she said, the last one that she killed with the Luna.
Yeah, after she smashed the whole head off the ground into the
that's
the
only
ground.
one that she's finished.
Yeah.
With the Luna ring, she actually did say, "Too shallow."
Yeah.
To my aim.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And then I think she only did kill the last one.
But the one with the Luna Fall maybe was
the Luna
also...
Fall, yeah.
No, because you could see that when she did the Luna Fall, there was some kind of protection on the brain after the attack finished.
You don't think that's just like brains getting slopped?
No, because the brain's intact there. It's like the rest, some other part of its body is like covering the brain where she like came down.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
That's what I think too.
It's like an arm or something.
Yeah,
or
like
something.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can see that.
Damaged cloak. I don't know.
Yeah. Wow.
So, why is this fucking building cracking?
Other heroes.
At the end of the chapter.
Other heroes.
Yeah,
at the what? End or beginning, sorry?
At the end of the chapter.
Yeah, because the dude's yelling about hawks, right?
He said heroes are coming.
Oh, yeah. I don't know.
And then the entire building just cracks in half.
Just other heroes fighting, probably, right?
Mihawk.
It seems wild. It just seems wild
like,
that
why?
they let Hawks in on this to begin.
Yeah.
How
did he played his game properly?
Number 2 here. Yeah. We're just gonna listen to all these things. We're gonna let you smooth talk us into a fucking villain organization. And
he played his cards properly. He was in a position where he knew that he could be trusted by the protagonist to the umph degree because he's second.
If he played his cards properly, he got a royal flush with 4 cards. Like that's what I'm saying. Like
but like he said, they never let him meet Shigaraki.
Yeah.
They definitely kept him isolated. Enough. They were spying on him. He did a great job.
Yeah.
I guess is what we're supposed to believe. You know what I mean? Like he did a great job.
There's a lot of factors involved here, but I mean, like,
don't you think you would just say no to begin with, though?
No, because they want to use his platform as number 2 hero to their advantage.
I guess, yeah.
Do we know who this? So there was a spy.
Seems like too high of a risk for too low of a reward.
That's a huge reward. If he was the perfect pawn, that's a massive reward.
Yeah, and
but didn't they already have a spy in UA, for example?
Yeah. There was.
Do we know who that is?
No, we don't know who that is yet.
Yeah, so I do feel like it is weird.
It's Kaminari.
To add another spy. Like, do you not have enough spies? You really need the number 2 hero? I guess he's not like a UA specific kind of person, so it's good to have someone up. But I agree with Kiko. Like, it is a little short-sighted, I guess, to let a hero just chill around just because you think he's bad or whatever.
I think it's more so about like wanting to take advantage of his platform and his versatility.
Sure.
I see the play for sure.
Yeah.
But it just seems risky.
Yeah.
But you look at a hero like Hawks, who's the number 2 hero, but he doesn't have like overwhelming attack power, right? So how is he the number 2 hero? He got there with other skills, right?
Yeah.
Those skills being his tactfulness, it's like all the strategery and tactfulness is why he's there in the first place, and you think that's the one that you should let on your team.
Well, no,
like
I think it has more to do with how well Kohei fleshed out all the other areas of heroism, right? Because like if it's all just comes down to DPS and who the strongest hero is, and that's what decides the hierarchy, then like that gets kind of like flat. But like the fact that there's all of these other areas of heroism that are important can go into what your ranking is, and he excels in areas outside of DPS, and that's what brings him up to the position that he's in right now. This motherfucker's casually walking down the street and saving people's lives all around the city, just casually talking
with his feathers, like carrying people's groceries in and shit.
You're proving my point, though, is that he's so skillful in so many things that are not full fucking DPS. That that's the last fucking hero you would want to let in your ranks, who is easily going to outplay you, because that's how he got to be number 2, is by outplaying everything in his whole entire life.
True. I mean, that's true. But at the same time, there's still villains, and there's still a little bit of arrogance that comes along with villainy, right? Sure. So like, if you are confident that this person is a perfect pawn, why wouldn't you want to take advantage of all of those traits that he has? Yeah,
man, you got All For One and Eggman. You know, like they should be cutting in on this and be like, I mean, and not All For One. All For One's gone, right? But like, still, they still have, you know, like his influence, and like the doctor is clearly smart, and I don't know, like you feel like the doctor would have been like, what the number 2 here? No, get him. I don't know.
Yeah, I feel you 100%. But
or is it that the dumb heroes, they're going to be dumb, pure hero.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But a crafty hero, maybe you could bargain with, reason with, and try and convince them to not be a hero.
Rally to your side because they have a little bit more critical thinking on there.
Yeah, they're a little sneakier, playing both sides.
And that seems like the argument that they have a lot of the time in these stories, and every single time it gets flipped on them. So like,
because it has to be, it has to go that way though.
But it's I guess.
No, I totally agree with you.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. Well, that'll do it for this episode of the Project Manga Podcast. Thank you all so much for watching. If you did, make sure you smash that like button if you enjoyed this episode. Make sure you smash that subscribe button and that noti bell, and we will chirp you whenever we come out with some new shite. Make sure you leave a comment down below. Let us know what you thought of this week. And with that all being said, also make sure you visit the link tree in the box down below, like we said before. Down there you can find links to any and all of our online communities, links to any audio listening platform you'd like the podcast on, and ways to support the podcast if you would feel that way.
Fuck yeah.
And with that all out of the way, this will be another stupendous episode of the Project Manga Podcast. Wrapping up, I'm your host, Eagle.
It's Kiko.
Noxie.
And Nickums.
Sada.